After 50 games, just one more to go at Genna Stadium. Still a road trip to follow. Looking to soak this one in on a Sunday night. Aiden O'Neill alongside Will Taylor this evening. And Will, so happy to have you back in the broadcast booth. How are we feeling?
Feeling great, man. Yeah, last home game of the year. Beautiful night here at Genna. Great crowd. Couple cellar dwellers on the field today, but a bunch of young players on the field. A lot of guys really trying to prove that they belong in this league and trying to make a name for themselves still and playing for that name on the front of the jersey still. So going to be a great night.
There's always still a lot to play for. The Elks in the first two games of this series won both, and the offense finally got clicking, especially last night when Gurney, our bull of the game, hit a long home run to deep left field. He made an outstanding play defensively. And overall, the Elks are starting to turn a corner. I know it might be too late to make the playoffs, but there's still a lot to build off of for sure.
Absolutely, and you know, a lot of the times you want to think of it as a team effort all summer, but for so many of these players, this really is kind of their own individual journey for their spring season and where they're going to finish up their college career and whatnot. So despite the first half of the season, and it's even a lot of new players, a lot of new guys, they just want to get themselves going and make sure they're ending their summer on good momentum heading into their university programs in the fall.
This crowd ready to get things going. They've been packing it out the first two games of the series, and every night has been a fun one at Genna. But we're getting ready for the final one. It's crazy how fast this summer flies by. Carter Hess on the mound tonight for your Bend Elks, a local product. And Will, I know you work with a lot of these guys, but it'll be cool tonight to see the local Bend players in the lineup.
Absolutely. A lot of local high school guys here today.
First pitch of the ball game misses up. We get started 1 minute behind schedule at 5:06 p.m. Hess from Summit High from Lapine, Oregon. 9 ERA, 2.07 whip in his limited action, generally in the bullpen. Will float in a changeup.
Back-to-back changeups to start the game here. Kind of thumbing them in there so far. Typical right to left wind kind of coming in from right field here at Genna Stadium. Mostly pitcher friendly at the moment.
Carter Hess a lot of the time will work guys backwards with those changeups, but Danny Weidman goes right back up the middle for a base hit. So Weidman gets things started for Marion Barry's offense that has struck first in all three games, or the two games so far this series. And we'll look at the rest of their lineup now. Alkai Arujo-Wayao, then Tyler Dunnan, Jake Dodge, Matthew Major, Taryn Carlson, Nolan Rowe, Cole Hansen, and Noah Scher. Not a ton of adjustment from the first two games of the series. Arujo-Wayao yesterday, 1 for 5 at the dish. And back to that changeup, Hess goes, but misses up and away. How does that approach change if you're a batter when the arm on the mound is working you backwards like this?
Well, I was going to say that was a pretty gritty approach, sitting on the 2-0 changeup, presumably a changeup, because that is all we've seen in these first four pitches. But sitting on that 2-0 changeup, that's not easy to do.
Weidman takes off, changeup swung on and missed. Throw down to second is not caught by Hartlob, and Weidman steals it.
And that's either 5 straight changeups or Carter Hess is having the old hanging arm syndrome at the end of the summer here, because you can see the arm speed is not high right now. He is either very fatigued or he is all changeup so far to start the day.
Has been changeup heavy this season just to get more command on his pitches, and he goes right back to it.
And I think they don't think that's his changeup either, because you can see the Marion Barry's hitter way out in front of that ball, sitting fastball, swung right over the 72-mile-an-hour changeup.
Arujo-Wayao's got himself 9 runs batted in this year from Honolulu, Hawaii, and has an RBI shot already early. Tap the changeup foul. Just a heavy dose of it. These hitters got to wait back.
And as a hitter at this point, you are wondering, is that his changeup or is that his primary pitch? And those both might be true. He might be a changeup primary guy, or he just is really nursing the fastball today. So I guarantee that's what that Marion Barry's dugout is thinking right now.
Hess hit him on the same pitch as it snuck up and in tight. And the Marion Berries have a couple of runners on base in this first. Look at the Elks defense on this Sunday night, the final home game at Genna Stadium. Murphy, Pupo, and Gurney in the outfield. Hattenhauer, Cooper, Hartlob, and Whitcomb, all local Bend kids in that infield. And then Isaac Pfeiffer in the squat, putting down the signs. Tyler Dunning up, runners on first and second, could be an opportunity to bunt. Does not square and takes high. So the longer this goes of throwing in the changeup, you do wonder, Will, if this is going to be the lone pitch.
I think he is either the far end of the spectrum definition of a junk baller, or his arm is absolutely on fire right now.
Fouled away.
And this would either come up on potentially being the record for the most straight changeups to start the game, or Carter Hess is just steering him in there right now. You see he is holding the ball in his hand kind of like a Vulcan change splitter grip, almost like a splinker sort of situation. So that there's 77. That is considerably firmer than what he was starting the game with.
But he is starting with that grip, you're right. All three of the fingers covering the seams, maybe even four with the pinky on the back end of it.
Yeah, looks like what could be a kick change. That is super interesting.
That looked like more like a curveball that's fouled away. Tyler Dunning had an RBI last night. Reached 3 times.
And a lot of pitchers will hold like a splitter grip, a changeup grip, just to kind of throw off the base coaches, throw off the base runners from trying to tip pitches.
2-2.
Just miss high there. Yeah, I mean, every pitch he's thrown has been between 71 and 77. So some sort of 2-pitch mix, just kind of tough to tell exactly what he's working with right now.
Weidman on second, who singled, and Arujo Wayao reached on a hit-by pitch. Hess goes back to it. It's grounded to Hattenhauer, who squeezes it, goes to third for one. The throw to first, a major double play to negate the rally.
Great job by Ty right there. That's a play that's really easy to rush, but the ball was hit pretty hard. He had plenty of time. Good job making a good, strong throw over to Whitcomb there at first.
And the wherewithal, too, to know that the force out was at third. That was the easiest way to go with all the time that he had. That can also settle Carter Hess down nicely. Jake Dodge digs in from the left side. Back to that pitch and misses up. Dodge, the former Bend Elk, just 2 games with them back in 2024. But his 4th year in the West Coast League. 12 runs batted in, and yesterday had an RBI. In yesterday's contest, the Marion Berries opened up the game with 3 runs in the first inning, 2 runs in the second, and it looked like they were going to cruise to victory. But after they scored the first 5 runs of the game, the Elks scored 7 unanswered and ultimately took it by 2. Reno.
Just missed high there. Jake Dodge went to my high school.
Really?
Yeah, I saw that name and I was like, I've heard that name a million times. And sure enough, he's just been playing baseball for a long time. One of the few seniors you see around in this league. Southridge High School in Beaverton, Oregon. Shout out to the Skyhawks.
That's incredible. Dodge walks on 4 pitches.
And not a ton hurt there with the cleanup hitter and a base open with 2 outs. Good opportunity to reset for Carter Hess right here.
Yeah, since you're on the broadcast, Will, Dodge might have the game of his life. So,
hey, well, keeping him at base so far. A little base open walk, nothing hurt.
2 away from Matthew Major. Sticking with that grip and hasn't shied away from it.
And there's that first pitch we've seen at 80 so far. So the 3-0 get me over finally brings a fastball in there. So it seems like he is very much deliberately throwing primary off speed so far.
Just a hair high home plate umpire tonight. Taylor Schneider. On the bases is Bryce Reeves.
And Carter Hess did not like that call In summer ball, you'd like to see that call to strike. However, did just barely miss on ABS challenge. That would have held up just barely.
He was looking in, wanting it from Schneider. Major skies the 1-0 deep down the left field line, but in the park, Murphy trails all the way over, and it had so much hang time that it went out of play.
Yeah, and I think on a calm breeze evening, that ball potentially even stays in fair territory, but the wind is whipping in kind of from right center towards home plate here.
18-mile-per-hour winds, absolutely picking up well. And that changes a lot with how this park plays.
Yeah, that's pretty typical. The earlier in the afternoon you get, the stronger the wind's typically going to be. The darker it gets, the more the wind calms down. So that should be here for most of the game.
Well, that helps when you guys film your videos at night.
Absolutely, yeah. We want the wind to be dead. It's good for audio. It doesn't mess with the ball flight much. But another factor, you know, it is not hitter friendly to have the wind blowing in like that. But the earlier the game, the less of an issue that sun is going to be. Poking over the mountains and left center and center field there. So should be ideally a few more runs early in the game tonight.
Popped it up to the third baseman in Hattenauer, who drops it. Jumped the gun because the ball looked like it was in the back of the web.
That ball was right on him. He read it great. I think he was just overthinking the wind ever so slightly. Coming off the bat of a righty, typically that ball is going to trail more towards foul territory, and with that wind, you would think that would be pushed even more out in foul territory, and Hattenauer read it phenomenally. Ball just kicked right out of his glove there. Unfortunate situation that loads the bases for the Berries.
Keeps this rally alive for Taryn Carlson as he grounds one foul.
And that ball did end up in foul territory, but if a defensive player touches the ball in fair territory before it goes foul, that's still a fair ball.
Yep.
If he completely missed that ball and it jumped into foul territory before it reached third base, that would have been a foul ball.
Carlson's got himself 12 runs batted in this year. 1 for 4 at the dish last night, but chases down 0-2. One more look at it. The wind obviously blowing it back into play as he does a little dance shuffling to his left. That's still one Hattenauer kicking himself that he didn't squeeze. The 25th pitch of the inning from Carter. Up by a hair.
Just missed. A great zone so far. This is, you know, a little aggressively tight for a summer ball zone. Very accurate for a big league zone, however. That ball missed by about a millimeter.
One, two. Up and away. Arujo, Wayao, Dodge, and Major, your runners from third to first. Already a big spot in this game, and the Berries have shown under Tucker Brock that this first inning, they know how to swing it right out of the gates. But Hess gets him swinging.
You get a step on home plate right there. Yep, for the drop third strike. Good job, Pfeiffer.
Carter Hess with his first strikeout of the night. Strands the bases loaded. Elks coming up in the bottom of the first when we come back. Elks coming up here at Vince Genna Stadium. No score. Carter Hess with a great job getting out of that opening inning, bases loaded, and ultimately stranding them going heavy changeup.
Absolutely. Even like he was in the 70s the entire inning, but you could still see that last batter still out in front. Yeah. It's almost like they can't believe that's his primary pitch. They're refusing to believe it. It's working so far.
Win Gurney is going to kickstart things for these Elks, who was the bull of the game last night and gets rewarded with being in the leadoff spot again. Gurney, Pupo, and Beck to start things off against the righty Taylor Brenneman. And Gurney hops on the first pitch.
Big hack.
Pops it up. The window play tricks on this one, and Dodge stabs at it, but caught it.
See, that looked way worse than Hattenhauer's ball at third, but he managed to glove that somehow. He stabbed at it is great verbiage for what just happened right there. They are not comfortable with the wind at the moment. It's very evident.
Maybe a bit different in Salem.
Yes. Yeah,
now Eli Pupo.
That wind is whipping.
Pupo, Beck, then Murphy, Pfeiffer, Whitcomb, Hartlob, Hattenhauer, and Cooper. That's the Elks lineup with loads of local players. Eli Pupo being one of them, but from just down the road in Redmond. 5.19 ERA from Taylor Brenneman, 16 Ks, a 1.42 whip. Pupo, softly sliding play from Arujo Ayau and got him.
That was a great play. He even slightly overran that ball and on the slide kind of reached back behind his body right there. Made a really strong throw to make the play at first. Well hit ball, 96 miles an hour off the bat from Eli Pupo. Hardest ball of the game so far off the bat.
Away for Cam Beck. Curveball's in there for a strike. Not sure if you were here on Tuesday night, Will, but Cam Beck had the major swing that lifted the Elks over the Pickles. And it was one of the best moments of the year.
5 minutes before it happened.
No way.
Yep. I saw you guys posted on Instagram, and I was like, I can't believe I missed it. We had to take Grandma Sue home.
Completely reasonable. Yeah. This is it from our drone. We had a drone on Tuesday night.
Goodness,
Isn't that gorgeous?
Gorgeous.
And you can watch the crowd pop too. I love it. Beck takes up and away.
That's such a good angle. God, that makes the field look so cool.
Oh, some of them that showed the mountain line and Bend neighborhoods just put everything into perspective about how beautiful this place is.
Yeah, we were lucky.
This Brenneman's 8th pitch of the inning, and it misses in. He's on the brink of ultra efficiency.
And that ball easily could have been called strike 3 right there. It looks like it caught a little bit of the inside corner, but Cameron lives to see another pitch.
OPS now in the 800s for Cam. And he pops one up to left field. It's got a little bit of backspin, and it sneaks in the line. Bouncing up against the wall, Beck coasts into second on a 2-out double.
And Brenneman probably not super happy about that. That was pretty much the exact same pitch that he thought he got strike 3 on the pitch before, but Beck was ready for it. Snuck that ball in off the hands, just kept it fair. Runner in scoring position for the Elks, and this is huge with these early games. You want to get as much hitting as you possibly can before that sun starts to set behind left center.
Keeping the rally alive and turning it to Jackson Murphy. Murph pops up on the first pitch, and it goes out of play. Defense for the Berries this evening. Scherer, Weidman, and Major in the outfield. Carlson, Dunning, Arujo, Ayau, Dodge, and then Hansen catch it. Berries team that has scuffled just like the Elks this year. A big game when it comes to who will finish in last in the West Coast League South. Murphy grounds one on a Sunday hop to Dodge at first, and he'll flip to the cover in Brenneman to end the inning.
And Brenneman sure gets over there fast. Well trained on the first base coverage right there. Well, missed opportunity for the Elks in the first, but still 0-0.
Nolan Rowe will kick things off for the Berries in the top of the second. No score in Game 3 of this series, the final home game at Genna. Rowe, Hansen, and then Scher, bottom of the Berries order. Carter Hess picks up right where he left off last inning with a 71-mile-per-hour changeup.
I almost think he's got to be working multiple pitches in that low mid-70s range. That one did look more like a slurve, more of a breaking ball than a changeup. We'll see if from this pitcher angle we can kind of see the movement a little better.
That's line down the left field line and just sneaking inside the line for a fair ball. Hitting first and heading to second is Rowe. Murphy's throw in there goes too late, and it's a leadoff double.
And that is the downside of having not a ton of separation on your pitch arsenal. Is that was a good job of sitting on that off speed right there. You could see him timing it up really well. Not nearly as jumpy as we saw the Berries last inning. He does have 80+ in the tank, though, so curious to see if he mixes that in a little bit more this inning.
Yeah, he uses that changeup and curveball to set up the fastball and has been really heavy with that off-speed stuff. I think it's been an emphasis from this Elks coaching staff because Hess will always throw those two pitches for strikes.
And Wes, pitching coach for the Elks, is an artist with his changeup. He's a changeup primary guy, had a few good years with Sacramento State. Excellent pitcher. I got to see his changeup firsthand this offseason, and it is filthy, so that does not surprise me one bit.
Wearing a bunt again is Hansen, who pulls back and takes.
For any kids watching, if you watch this bunt technique right now, on that first one he fouled off, he dipped that barrel down a little bit. You ideally always want to keep your barrel above your hands when you're bunting, just to decrease the chance of a pop-up, a foul ball.
You see it there, same thing, but he took a strike.
And now he's not in a good situation to bunt with 2 strikes, because a foul ball bunt with 2 strikes, as many of you know, is considered a strikeout. One of those weird baseball quirks. I presume they'll just try to move the runner here, let the batter swing.
And the changeup misses a bit out. Cole Hansen, our first look at him this series. He's coming off a monster year at Cal Baptist.
Oh, good.
Where he had 380, 7 homers, 48 driven in.
Not a bad year. 381.
Pops this one up over the head of Hattenhauer and into our barbecue deck.
Started in 45 games, heck of a spring season.
This is just at-bat number 3 on the summer. So he's been a new addition to the Berries fold.
Really interesting. You almost wonder if he was hurt for a lot of the summer.
1,000 OPS. He'll take that all day long. And pops this one into shallow center field. It's going to fall in front of Pupo for a hit. Late jump, though, from the runner. The throw goes to third, and it's not handled by Ty.
Yeah, the ball had a funny in-between hop. Good job of just keeping that ball in front, getting down to that catcher block position. Good, strong throw from center, but just a crafty little piece of hitting. That guy's giving me a lot of Luis Arias with his hitting action. I'm kind of surprised to see 7 homers on his spring stat sheet there. Really, I mean, that might just be his 2-strike approach, but a really defensive, tough out type of swing style there. I like it.
And you see the late jump from Rowe. He had to make sure that ball wasn't going to get caught.
Yeah.
If Pupo's throw was on the money, Rowe's probably out.
Yeah, that was a great deke by Eli Pupo in center right there.
That's an art if you're an outfielder, perfecting the deke.
Yeah, you'll see guys pretend that they're gonna catch a soft line drive like that just to keep the runner from going, and that almost cashed out right there. He almost got out at third.
Noah Scher in an RBI chance. Takes down and away.
Another inning of early base runners for the Berries here. A little bit of trouble for Hess. A double play last inning helped him out. I'm sure he would not mind trading a run for a 2-ball right here as well.
Yeah, all the infielders thinking about, too, if they get a ground ball. But the changeup is swatted into right center field. Pupo has a beat on it. He'll make the catch. Tagging at third is Rowe, and will score stand-in to plate the first run of the ball game for Marion.
And I think the Berries hitters are kind of cluing in that they're going to see predominantly that mid-70s off-speed first mix, and it does not seem to be fooling them quite as much.
I will say it was awfully close, Rowe missing the plate when he ran home. I just noticed it from up here in the press box, but he was right towards the front of the plate.
From that angle, it looked like he got it. First pitch dribbled foul.
That's the one thing, if you're Isaac Pfeiffer and you don't notice it right away, you're not going to say anything, but possibly. Berries for the 3rd consecutive game have scored first. Weidman fouls back the 0-1. It's crazy, though. The Elks have been the comeback kids. They've shown a lot of resilience in this series in particular. We'll check. He was on time leaving third. And then when he got to the plate,
I think he just got the front of the plate.
More than likely, for sure.
Typically, the umpires are pretty good about checking that. That's the plate umpire's sole job to keep an eye on. I do believe the Elks would have had to appeal it in order to get that out, though.
Yes. All right, this should give it to us. Yeah,
that was close. That was close.
The high home would be the one
that
we would have the angle on.
Would that have been our responsibility to go yell down at Isaac Pfeiffer? Appeal the runner.
Yeah. Well, we've joked about replay review potentially being added to the West Coast League, but that would add a whole new element.
It would add a lot of game time as well.
For sure.
I am all for a good ABS challenge to be installed there. Great pitch at the top of the zone. 76 at the top of the zone. That is not fast by any means at really any level, but when you're throwing in a bunch of 70s and 71s, that makes that 76 a lot more effective, especially when it's located at the top of the zone. Great timely strikeout right there.
And the name of the game for Carter Hess, just throwing strikes. He's going to fill up that zone consistently as he comes home to Arujo Waiao, and he puts a charge into one deep to left center field. Pupo's going all the way back to the track and squeezes it.
And if it weren't for that flag pumping straight in from where that ball was hit, we might have seen a round tripper right there, but the wind keeps it in. The Elks get out of it. Only 1 run surrendered. Coming to the bottom of the second. Berries up 1-0 on the Elks.
Bottom of the second inning. Berries strike in the top half. Get the first run of the ball game. Isaac Pfeiffer kicking things off here as Taylor Brenneman works along. This is in tight.
Isaac Pfeiffer rocking the no batting glove look. I don't understand how players can do that.
Old school.
You have to develop so much of a callus layer on your hand to be able to get good grip on that.
Have you done a no batting glove challenge at any point?
I actually have, and I think a lot of it has to do with what literally what the skin on your hands is accustomed to, but I could not hit without a lot of pine tar and a lot of batting glove.
Pfeiffer takes up a quick 3-0. Taylor Brenneman had no issue with pounding the strike zone in the first inning. But here getting behind Fife. Takes on a pitch down the heart of the plate. Brenneman, a guy from Salem, Oregon, was at Chemeketa Community College a couple of years ago. Just wrapped up a year at William Jewell as Pfeiffer crushes one deep to left field. Scherer's going back, and it's off the wall. Pfeiffer coasts into second with a double, and the Elks get going in this second.
Just an electric double celly from Isaac Pfeiffer. What a piece of hitting, by the way. Sitting on the 67-mile-an-hour 3-1 curveball right there. Takes a lot of guts to sit on a 3-1 curveball. I don't think he got all of that one. Muscled it out 94 off the bat, 339 feet. I think that hit right below the yellow.
Let's watch the celly again. Whitcomb into right. Alan Cox holds Isaac Pfeiffer at third. But back-to-back hits, put runners on the corners with nobody out.
Trying to look at that replay, Brody Whitcomb saw an 81-mile-an-hour fastball down the middle and said, sorry, folks, can't give you the opportunity. I'm going to take that into right field for a line drive single. A local Caldera High School product getting the job done. Bases, runners on the corners with no outs for the Elks.
And speaking of Caldera, Whitcomb, Hartlob, and Hattenhauer all back-to-back in this lineup. From Caldera as Hartlob swings through that one. Cameron yesterday at shortstop made an outstanding play that we didn't forget. Leaped up at short and squeezed it on the high backhand. Also with the bat, laid down a critical bunt in the 8th inning that set the table for some insurance. Chance to tie this game. Ball in the outfield would do the trick with this wind still ripping. Hartlob grounds one softly back up the middle, fielded by Dunning, goes to second for one. The throw to first, not in time. And on the fielder's choice, Pfeiffer comes in to score. It's 1-1.
And Hartlob really runs well. That was about as tailor-made of a double play ball as you can get. A clean feed from the shortstop, clean turn from the second baseman. Hartlob just straight up beat it out as the Elks tie the game 1-1 on that.
In that situation, Will just had to put a ball in play and did the trick as he takes off on the first pitch and will steal second with ease.
Yeah, kid can burn.
You love the aggression on the bases. The Elks have had no issue with that this season.
And a great opportunity for Ty Hattenhauer, who hit .580 in his high school season this year.
I was looking at those numbers and just couldn't believe it.
First team All-Stater in Oregon.
Tie to Carlson at third, who makes a nice play it. Throws to first, 2 outs. That's not an easy thing to do regardless of what the competition is. It's extremely impressive.
And that's 5A Intermountain Conference high school baseball. That's good competitive baseball. There's no one else came close to that. He was clear and away player of the year.
Two-way for Cole Cooper. And he pops one up to shallow right center. But Matthew Major and Weidman come together. Weidman making the squeeze to end the inning.
I like the aggressive hacks early in the count.
All tied up at 1 to the 3rd inning. On Bend Elks YouTube we go.
So joining us back here in the top of the third at Genna Stadium, my employee Cam appears to be on a date with a unknown lady. She seems very friendly, so I will have to ask him about that later. But congratulations, Cam. Looks like things are going well.
Wow. Making moves, Cam. Tied up at 1. That field house, that's a good place to watch a game.
Can't beat it. Premier access. Some special baseball bat bros privileges being played right there.
We've had a fun one so far. Both pitchers on both sides have filled up the zone, and that's kept us moving along. Carter Hess still going with 44 pitches, 2 innings of work, 2 Ks, and 1 walk.
A lot of pitches for 2 innings so far. 44 is not too alarming, but you are starting to see a couple guys getting up loose and stretching for the Elks in the bullpen. And as you can hear, that wind is whipping in from right field still.
I mean, you can even hear it on our mics.
Exactly.
Had the mini tornado on the warning track yesterday. Did you hear about that?
Oh, there was a little dust devil in outfield.
And it ultimately blew off the roof of the beer garden.
In the middle of the game it did?
Pre-game, during batting practice. And ultimately everybody was okay, but you take a look at that beer garden. And the roof is gone. As Dunnan pops up the first pitch, foul. Whitcomb gave it a look. Heart of the Berries order, Dunnan, Dodge, and Major. Elks are at this point in the season, Will, where you're thin on arms, and it feels like every day you come to the yard, it is a bullpen game in a sense. So you're hoping for some length out of one of these guys.
Absolutely. I sure wish I was of age. I'd be throwing as
you
hard
still
as
probably
I
have
can
eligibility.
out there. I don't know. I actually do not. It expired.
Really?
Even if you use, this is my understanding of the NCAA eligibility rule. Even if you use not all your 4 or 5 years, if there's been 10 years that have passed since your last game played, your clock ends. So if I didn't play any college baseball and then I tried to go back right now, I could. But because I started, I cannot re-enter. Unfortunately for me. But the benefit of that is now I can say, oh, I could be out there.
Yeah.
I could compete.
What if the clock never started?
And I don't have to prove it. Exactly. If the clock never started, that's why you see the occasional 30-year-old punter in college football.
Dunning grounded out into a double play his first time. And that's popped up to right field. Gurney's got a feed on it to make the catch.
I can't help but think of Trevor May whenever I see a softly hit fly ball to right field.
Not a pretty sight that was.
Horrible. Did you see his YouTube video he posted?
I did. It was great.
Phenomenally done. I also found out they lost their mic'd up audio from that entire video.
No way.
If you guys listening in haven't had a chance to watch the Trevor May Bend Elks special on YouTube, it is quite a treat. And he ended up narrating the entire video on his own.
So that's why it
after
was
the
VO.
fact. Exactly.
Wow.
The whole thing was voiceover, and he did a wonderful, wonderful job. I was beyond impressed.
You weren't even able to tell that something went wrong when I watched it.
Yeah, as a YouTuber, I probably just would have trashed the video if I had something catastrophic happen like that. But shout out for the resilience.
Dodge down the first base line and fair past the glove of Whitcomb. He'll hit first and head to second. Gurney picks it up, but his throw in there late. 1 out double.
Sat on that 70-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch on the inside corner, hit it hard, 96 miles an hour down the line. Not a lot that Brody Whitcomb can do over at first right there, except for just kind of flail at it and hope he gets some leather. But 1 out double for the Berries.
I told you, same high school. He's going to have the game of his life, Will.
No, Southridge Skyhawk.
And also some vengeance for him as a former Bend Elk. Just 2 games with the Elks in 2024, but was a part of those playoff contests. Hess misses up and into Major. You're right about that pitch count. Getting up now at 51.
And
Major reached on an error his last time.
that's also a benefit of being an off-speed first guy. You know, a classic example, Tim Wakefield. He can throw 130 pitches in a game just because he's not putting max effort in every pitch.
Major pops one up. It's slicing away from Pupo, and he squeezes it. That was not an easy play with this wind, but made it look routine.
That's probably a right fielder's ball all day, but great job by Pupo as a center fielder. If you call a ball, you're really going to, you have priority over the corner outfielders, so they're going to let you have that ball. So good job flagging that down. Probably covered a good 30 yards tracking that fly ball down. He ended up right in front of the right fielder there.
Unbelievable. The wind is blowing sharp from right to left, but it's swirling regardless in the outfield as Carlson's way out in front.
I'm sure he was thinking that ball was going to come more back towards center, but the wind was actually blowing straight in for basically that one play alone, and then it went straight back to blowing towards the left field foul pole.
Already 7 hits combined in this game. These offenses, and yes, just 2 runs if we combine both sides, they're swinging it.
Yep.
Knocking on the door of breaking this game open with some more runs.
We already have 2 balls that would have been home runs if it weren't for that wind.
Down the line, a fair ball. Hit by Taryn Carlson. This will easily score Jake Dodge. And an RBI double with 2 outs gives the Berries the lead in the top of the 3rd.
Yeah, he was way out in front of that ball. A pretty good pitch, even on the outside corner there, just off the end of his bat. Only 79 miles an hour on the exit velo. Just snuck that in about an inch fair down the left field line.
Yeah, I had to wait a second to see if it was going to stay fair. Ty Hattenhauer had no chance at that ball.
Yeah, that ball looked like it was hit a lot harder than it was.
It had some weird top spin on it.
Yeah, the ball's spinning hard.
Nolan Rowe steps up. Who doubled his first time? Berry's offense statistically this year, last in the league in average. These 2 teams have had similar stories when it comes from making the playoffs a year ago to this year just not being the same in every way. That's the tough thing about summer ball, as you know, Will. With all the player turnover, that's common practice.
Yeah, it's effectively a brand new team every year outside of a few core guys that will sometimes come back, but the parity is fun. You know, you see it with the Portland Pickles, who were just dominating teams for a couple straight years, and they're just merely middle of the pack now. But yeah, it's almost like the new college football. It's got a new batch of guys every year.
Loved on one knee by Hartlob at second, and he got the runner in row. Camden Hartlob had to lunge to his left to prevent an RBI single and keeps the deficit at 1. Let's take another look at it, Will. Nice play.
I think that was a little bit of a Pete Crow Armstrong. I'm not so sure he needed to dive, but extra credit. He had the time to do it. We'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Great job keeping another run off the board there.
Bottom of the third inning. Elks now trail it by 1 as the Berries were able to add on. Gurney, Pupo, and Beck, the top of the Elks order in front of this great crowd for the final home game of 2026.
If we take a look at Gurney's bat right here, this is actually a very interesting one. This is called a Delano. It's actually completely hollow on the inside and is the largest barreled wood bat ever created as he caps one to the third baseman. Really nice play there to get the first out.
That was smooth. Carlson coming in on the run and making it look easy.
But, yeah, just a colossal sized barrel on that wood bat. Just a good example of how the definition of a wood composite bat and what is a wood bat is getting really blurry in amateur wood bat baseball. This is probably another one right here, a bomb bat, where there's just not a lot of wood in the bat. So I'm curious to see how that changes in the next couple of years.
I'd guess that they get more strict overall with the rules and the classifications around, well, it has to truly be X percentage of wood.
Exactly. I don't think we're too far away from wood composites being outlawed in this type of league. Because they are better.
Yeah.
They are objectively better. It's cheating in a sense. You could argue that.
Then why would a guy not swing that every single time?
Because there's a bit of a stigma with swinging a bat like that. You're kind of saying, that's a good swing right there.
Yeah, sky to left center field. Weidman got an excellent jump, though, and made the catch.
Hit it right into the teeth of that wind. That's the hardest hit ball by a good margin. 100 miles an hour off the bat for only 335 feet on another night. That could have easily gone 360 plus right there. But, yeah, so when you go up with one of those fake wood bats is what I call them, you're kind of showing everyone. Like, everyone can tell, right?
It's frowned upon.
It's frowned upon. It's like, yeah, I don't know, like, if I can think of a equivalent. It would be like if you were overly obvious as a pitcher using pine tar on the baseball when you're throwing. You don't want to flaunt it too much. So guys will swing a regular wood bat purely just to show I'm doing this the authentic way.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So you think if it came down to you went and asked every single player on that field right now, give your best chance at getting a hit, they would pick the bomb bat every time?
Yes, however, there is a lot to be said for a player swinging what he's currently used to swinging and what they believe that they're doing well with. So that has a lot to do with it. But like this bat right here could easily be a wood composite, and you just wouldn't be able to tell. They're making them look more and more camouflaged.
And then,
like, I can't even tell.
You don't have to worry
I do
about
this for a living.
Yeah.
I cannot tell what bat he's swinging. That could easily be completely hollowed out, and it would be perfectly legal for a league like this.
Beck. Another good swing into center field. This one's carrying over the head of Weidman. It goes to the wall. Beck's got his second double of the night in as many at-bats.
Yeah, that ball was tattooed. That was a really similar looking play as the last batter, but I looked up at the TrackMan and it said 104, and I figured, yeah, he's got no chance at running that ball down. And sure enough, that made it all the way to the warning track right there. A beautiful piece of hitting. 104 off the bat. That is hammered.
Well, Beck's got that power, and it's been a joy to watch him start to turn things around at this point in the season. Didn't play at all at Oregon State, and now getting a free runway. Murphy takes a strike. That's a hard thing when you're at a top Division I like Oregon State. You don't get that time, and you're finally just happy to have a consistent routine.
Absolutely, and there's also a lot of pressure that comes with that. You know, coming to a summer ball team, you know, you have that reputation of being the Oregon State guy. You got all your orange and black Beavers gear that you're wearing. You have this pressure to perform and this expectation from everyone, and that can kind of add to the stress a little bit.
Opportunity for the Elks to tie this game. Beck, formerly the #1 player in his division in the state of Utah, and then went to Oregon State as a highly touted prospect. Hitters count for Murphy way ahead against the pitcher and Taylor Brenneman. Berries at this stage of the season running low on arms, so hoping Brenneman can go deep. But he ultimately walks Murphy.
Yeah, nothing hurt there as well. Righty and lefty matchup, base open, and he's going to take his chances with the righty Isaac Pfeiffer. a great bat out of Tualatin, Oregon. I coached Isaac when he was 10 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a stud back then. Isaac, originally an Arizona State recruit out of high school, ended up going to University of Portland.
That's awesome.
Working on establishing a good career there.
Yeah, still a very young player, just finished his freshman season. Was here in Bend last year as both a Bend Buck and an Elk. Pops that one down the left field line. Air goes all the way to the corner and it goes out of play.
Yeah, well hit ball. I'm kind of surprised he threw him another hitter count curveball right there after what he did the last at bat on that 3-1 curve. Pfeiffer was sitting on it pretty well, just a hair out in front.
Taylor Brenneman's first walk of his outing came against the last batter in Murphy. He's been filling up the zone. That heater misses in. Pfeiffer's first time had the deep double to left field. And even on that foul ball, his swing looks well timed.
15 miles per hour of differential between his curveball and his fastball. Just missed. Same pitch right there.
That's a tough take.
Yep.
The Berries are, what are they doing?
Very light getting loose in the bullpen.
Stretching out with the roller, but using the roller as a bat.
3 straight fastballs for balls right here. Really curious to see if Brenneman goes back to the 3-1 curveball that Pfeiffer put a barrel on back in the second inning.
He's able here in the 3-1 to really sit on one pitch. And is way out in front on a vicious swing.
Yeah, he did not think he was going to give him the curveball 3-1 again. And gutsy pitch by Brenneman. He did it again right there. And with the rate he's throwing his curveball for a strike versus his fastball, I would not be surprised to see it again right here.
This becomes a big pitch because both runners will be on the move. And Pfeiffer grounds one to the left side. Dunning knocks it down on the dive. Beck stays. And that effort by laying out and just getting a body on it keeps Beck at third.
Great piece of hitting there by Pfeiffer. He was really kind of in between pitches. Obviously way out in front on that curveball. That ball was clear out on the outside corner. Somehow hit it hard enough, 88 miles an hour in the hole, to get a little infield single there. And Pfeiffer 2 for 2 on the day, shaping up to be a good evening. And Brody Whitcomb, a Bend local, is going to have an opportunity here with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Still pretty early in the ball game as we're going to have a mound visit.
Time now called in a big spot. They'll go talk to Taylor Brenneman. It's packed tonight, Will. Look down there by the field house.
Yeah, it's popping. The line on the concession stand, as long as the eye can see. And
they got the memo.
I'm sure right now they're just, oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. They know the beer sales stop at the 7th inning, so they're trying to make sure they're time. Yeah, we got a packed house for the last home game here at Genna. The Elk faithful have showed up.
This crowd has been outstanding all season long, and you've also had the pleasure of playing in front of them out on the field during the non-league games. You know what that roar sounds like.
Oh, yeah, it's a great time, man. It's a pretty small stadium, so it feels like more people than it really is even.
You love this chance for Brody Whitcomb, the local kid, bases loaded, and you always get the extra boost when you're from here, from this crowd. Big overshift on to the pull side. And Whitcomb goes that way, foul.
Jumped all over the first pitch fastball, his first at bat, and he does it again right here. But Brenneman just took a little bit off of it, only 79 miles an hour on that pitch. And Whitcomb, just a hair out in front, pulls it foul. I would assume off speed after that swing, but we'll see.
Brody on the season, 5 runs batted in, as he'll take an off speed that was there but didn't get the call.
And that's, I think, just a result of the catcher not receiving that ball super well. His glove really dipped after it made contact.
Takes down and away, 2-1.
Same pitch right there, just sailed wide.
This velo drop-off, you already mentioned it a little bit, but it is drastic,
yeah.
80 to 68.
On one hand, it's easier to see out of the hand, but it's also just really hard to not know what's coming when it's that big of a difference. And 3-1 now. Dangerous situation for Brenneman. And Whitcomb has to be smart here about, looking to really do some damage, but with 2 outs, also making sure to not swing at a ball.
Late discipline always there for Brody. And he'll take a strike at the bottom of the zone. Full count.
Yeah, not a great hitter's pitch right there. More of a pitcher's pitch, well located. Pretty smart to not swing there, but big situation. The runners will be on the move. Full count, 2 outs, bases loaded, bottom of the 3rd.
Whitcomb back up the middle and through for a base hit. Beck will score, so will Murphy. Pfeiffer to 3rd, and the Elks have the lead 3-2.
The Bend native gets it done. They had that huge shift on. Rightfully so. You should have that shift on for Brody Whitcomb. He's a pretty much dead pull hitter. And that's typically a routine ground ball to the second baseman, but with that second baseman playing in shallow right field, that's going to get through for 2 RBIs, a huge 2-out hit for Brody Whitcomb.
You love when they take advantage of the overshift at any level. Just a slap in the face to the defense as Brody's stealing. It's a pop-up from Hartlob. It has eyes and it falls. Pfeiffer's in. Whitcomb is stopped at 3rd, but the throw goes to home, allowing for Hartlob to move up to 2nd.
Yeah, that's huge. That's definitely a misplay by the center fielder, making that throw home all the way unnecessarily. Just gave a free base, and now the Elks have 2 more runners in scoring position, another opportunity to put even more runs up in this 3-run inning already. Just a little Texas leaguer.
Hattenauer, a blooper. The Elks continue to do it. Whitcomb in. Hartlob will score.
And that just goes to show you those little plays like the center fielder missing his cutoff man just gave the Elks an extra run. Both of those hits back-to-back averaged out 65 miles per hour of exit velocity. So it's not always about how hard you hit it, folks. Sometimes the game rewards you just for making contact, and the Elks all of a sudden are up 6-2.
Caldera chaos from these products. 5 runs batted in. And on the first pitch home to Cooper, Hattenauer steals 2nd.
Yeah, catcher just mishandled it there. Barry's kind of falling apart here in the bottom of the 3rd.
This game changed so quickly. This is 5 runs in this 3rd inning. And you're right, some of these balls not hit particularly hard. Cooper takes low.
One of the hardest balls of the inning was caught already to center.
But that ball, magic working on the Elk side again. Cooper's late.
Another Bendite from Bend High School up to bat right now. Kid's a great pitcher as well. Kid was a thorn in our side over at Mountain View High School this year.
1-2 the count with 2 outs.
Great leadoff hitter as well for the Lava Bears.
Able to do it all as time is called. That transition not always seamless from high school to college. It is a different level for a reason, but how about the Caldera kids this inning? The 5 runs in, all from them. Whitcomb on the 2 RBI single, Hartlob on the RBI single, and Hattenauer with a 2 RBI knock.
Love to see it, and you got to assume a lot of this crowd is probably family and friends of these players, so really fun to see.
Cooper softly to dodge at first. He boots it, has to hurry, and gets Cooper Brenneman again getting over to first quickly, but spikes the ball near the mound in frustration. As 5 runs given up that inning. How about it for the youngins? Whitcomb, Hartlob, and Hattenauer all doing their thing. And Ty capping it off with that 2 RBI single.
Well earned as well. 8 knocks already for the Bend Elks. I think only 1 free pass.
Of course, Elks back on defense when we come back. And they're rolling, now up by 4. Carter Hess's night is done to the top of the 4th inning. And Nate Goodman, another Bend kid.
Sidewinder for the Elks here, and you see that stat line, not the prettiest, but that is a small sample size. That can change with a couple quick outs here.
And the freedom to challenge all of these hitters with the Elks up by 4. A 5 spot in the 3rd inning. 5 runs batted in from the 3 Caldera boys. And Nate Goodman formerly went to Bend High. His brother Will, also former Bend Elk, just earlier this year. So he misses outside on the fastball. Polar opposite positions, though, with Goodman being the slick fielding shortstop, Will, and Nate being the funky righty.
And Nate used to be that. He kind of had a mid-career position change and became a pitcher. He was a crafty shortstop and hitter as well, but now you see him with the low release angle, not totally submarine, but and it's kind of interesting approach from the Elks here too. I wonder if they've seen something with the Barry swings in the last couple games. Both really low velocity kind of junk ball pitchers right here, still in the low 70s for Goodman on the fastball.
2-1 home fills up the zone. At 13.5 innings at Occidental with 7 Ks, 18 hits, 7 earned.
Got touched up a little bit, but still very early in his pitching career.
Still found the zone then with 8 Ks to 4 walks.
I believe this is his first full season as a true pitcher. So
he just hit Hansen on that 67-mile-per-hour breaking ball that missed in.
Yep, still figuring out that arm slot, still figuring out his role and learning a whole new position here.
That's one that's not going to leave a mark.
You can see he also starts with a changeup grip.
Yeah, just like Carter. So this Barry's offense getting a similar look, at least with pitch mix. That's lined back up the middle off the glove of Goodman. He's got to hurry to go to first and gets him.
Told you he was a shortstop.
Pitchers are athletes.
There's part of me that is wondering if Nate Goodman is throwing a knuckleball right now. The way he's releasing it.
That looked like it was.
But see how his hand kind of flings over? He over-pronates his hand. It's like they're all changeups.
Yeah.
It's like also not a fastball first guy. You do not see that a lot. Yeah.
Way out in front is Weidman. It's also like a slider grip, it looked like.
It's like a slider grip, but he pronates.
Yeah.
Very odd. Yeah, just a power sinker.
Starts in that changeup grip.
Yeah, it's like it functions more like a changeup than it does a fastball.
And from the arm slot, when he's located, it's really tough to hit, and you see it there again.
And the Berries don't know exactly what to do with it. That's not a pitch you see every day. I like how he just comes over the top of the ball right here. Really odd.
Starts lower than when he finishes.
He almost
pops
looks
up at that.
He looks like a position player pitching, just crafty.
Weidman is 1 for 2, and that hit him at 65 miles per hour. Weidman with an ironic pump of the fist. The second hit by pitch of the inning.
Yeah, he was not liking those sinkers Goodman was throwing, and I think he tried to go to the slider there, try to go under for a grip there. Let's see what he threw right here. Yeah, it looks like he tried to throw a slider right there, and it just sailed on him. And that, as a sidewinder, that's an especially tough pitch, is learning a right-to-left breaking ball and trying to stay around that and not having to sail arm side. That's a really common issue.
Brings up Alkai Arujo-Wayao. Takes a strike. I mean, I'm sure these Berries hitters are in this box thinking, what are we seeing today from Carter Hess to Goodman?
No, this is not a normal afternoon for Marion Berries hitters. Typically, you're seeing 90, give or take, with a curveball and a changeup, and right now you're seeing a steady dose of what might as well be changeups.
Arujo-Wayao will flip one into shallow center field for a base hit. An aggressive send of Cole Hansen, and the throw in from Wynn Gurney is late.
Not solid contact there, only 72 miles an hour, but just punched it up the middle. And the Berries got something cooking. 3-run ball game now, tying run at the plate.
Both teams showing why barrels can sometimes be overrated.
Yep. Unfortunately, that is true.
You get rewarded for bloops. There was a defensive change, too. I caught up with Garrett Schmokel, relief pitcher for the Elks, who threw last night pregame. He said, they told me I'm going to be playing the outfield today after the start of this game. As Dunning grounds one softly, gloved by Cooper, deep in the 6-hole. He got him! My goodness, Cole Cooper.
What a play right there. And I will say, as long as the umpires don't hear this, Brody Whitcomb very clearly came off the bag. I don't know if we'll be able to see it from this angle, but this is the umpire's angle, and you can see why he was fooled. But
I think the first base
yeah, they're going to
coach.
I think they made the right call. As you can see pretty clearly, he is off the base right there. And he might have came off after he caught the ball. It was tough to tell. Nonetheless, an unbelievable play by Cooper over at shortstop there. We saw a lot of that this spring at Bend High.
I say it all the time, Will. This is why you don't do your scorebook and pen, because now I got to scribble on a 6-3 putout. Instead, it's a single.
You should know better than that, man. Looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter for the Marion Berries, number 37, not on the roster sheet, but we will do some digging. Wyatt Hooper is the name, early pinch hitter for the Berries.
Chance to get some new guys a look.
We don't have much on him. I did see him in the parking lot before the game, I will say.
So we can confirm.
Looks like a Shemeketa catcher.
Takes away that home park of the Marion Berries in Salem, Chemeketa Community College. They've really done a nice job with the field, too. Now all brand new turf.
It used to be bad,
That's
but
what I
they've
heard.
done a great job with it.
Yeah.
Genna used to be in pretty rough shape. Then they turfed that, and this is baseball haven now.
Fouled away by Hooper. If Pierce could give us a look at the defense, I believe Schmokel is now in left field. Gurney in center. Murphy in right. Looks like no update yet, but pretty sure that's the look I see. And then Hattenhauer and Cooper on the left side, Hartlob and Whitcomb on the right side.
And a big spot for Goodman right here. He has the bases loaded behind in the count, yet he is one ground ball away from getting out of this inning in a very pivotal situation.
Hold a strike on the outside corner now, 2-2.
Pfeiffer, a good job of bringing that ball back in the strike zone.
So there it is. Garrett Schmokel from Portland, Oregon. Used to be a two-way guy, just pitches now, committed to Western Oregon. He's in left. Gurney in center, Murphy in right. Those are all the adjustments you need. Pitching for the K or ground ball with them loaded. Lined foul.
Yeah, that was a hanger. Got lucky there.
Hooper's in for Jake Dodge. I noticed, Will, when Dodge barreled his way into second on the double, he did come up a little gimp.
He was running slow, and I was wondering if he's just slow. But
it did look like there might be
that does make
something
sense. That does make sense. Oh, that ball's going to hook
Up
foul.
foul.
That looked dangerous off the bat right there.
That's
good
near Cam
battle.
up there.
Yeah, that's up near Cam. So checking how he's doing. Looks like the date's still going well. Love to see it. Our buddy Kendrick up there in the Bat Bros gear. Thank you, Kendrick, for representing.
I love that.
Huge pitch for Goodman. Wyatt Hooper being a tough out. Great battle so far.
Look at him choking up on the bat from the right side.
Way up
Full
on
on.
the plate.
Fouled away. What's going through your head as a pitcher when you see a guy halfway up the handle just, I'm fighting anything off?
And his toes on the, what would be chalk, what is now painted turf. But as a right-handed sidewinder, I mean, I can't help but think I'd be scared of hitting him right here. You don't want to plunk him, but
238 average at Chemeketa, 15 runs batted in, and dribbles this one up the first baseline, foul.
just barely got a piece. Really good pitch off the outside corner there by Goodman.
Battling along, looking to get a tough customer in Hooper.
It does not appear Hooper is going to strike out here, but he's played 84 career games with Shemeketa, has not hit a home run yet. So if you're Goodman here, you just kind of want to hope he puts a ball in play and take your chance on a 2-ball.
Infield seeking a turn 2. Fouled away. You mentioned Luis Arise earlier on the base hit from the catcher, but this is as gritty as it gets.
Yeah, and you'll hear a lot of baseball fans complain about how the small ball is dead. You don't see guys like Tony Gwynn anymore. In the majors, that is a trend. At this level, you see it all the time. You know, because not particularly a tall guy right here. He's working with what he's got.
Fastball misses in. Carson, our great field PA guy, and the fans in the preferred section, he's looking to get some good magic going. They're all waggling the fingers. Good energy.
Great energy.
Here we go.
Huge pitch right here.
They're now going to clap, I think.
Full count.
Payoff. Outside, ball 4. And that will walk in a runner. In comes Weidman. It's 6-4.
5 for 1 of the strike there. Good job of bringing that ball back, but that was a good 4 inches off the outside corner. The right call right there. And the Elks do have some action in the bullpen, but they are going to give Goodman another batter here. Again, he's only a ground ball away, and he is your prototypical ground ball pitcher.
These getaway days at this stage of the summer can get ugly just because of all the pitching being expended. 68-mile-per-hour breaking ball called to strike. Josh Mejia, the lefty, getting loose in the bullpen.
And you got to think with the velocity or lack thereof we've seen from the Elks so far, anything north of 80 is going to look like about 110 miles an hour coming out of the hand.
Way out in front is Major 0-2.
67 miles an hour out of the hand of Goodman there. And a huge time to get ahead 0-2.
Major is 0-2, reached on an error his first time.
Having a great summer, though.
And forced to stay all the way back. Foul away, a 73-mile-per-hour pitch. Berries this season have struggled away from home. A 9-17 record. But a chance still, even after losing this series to start this weekend, a chance to win the season series. Breaking ball clipped Major. Or did it?
The umpire has not signaled anything, but it looks like he will finally give him the free pass.
I'm confused why
that is very
Taylor
odd.
Schneider didn't raise his hands and say hit by pitch. He just looked at Bryce Reeves and said, well, yeah, it hit his elbow guard.
Yeah, that's odd. I think he did. I think he did make the right call, but that's the problem. He didn't make a call. So kind of just had everyone wondering what was going on there. He just stood there like it was a foul ball or something.
Like a statue. And then Reeves asked him, well, did it hit him? And he said it did, as the first pitch is lined into left center field and caught by Gurney on the run. Tagging at third and scoring is Dunnan, making it 6-5. All happening very quickly.
And that's actually going to tie the ball game right there, I believe.
That does tie it at 6. Yes, Major did get hit on that elbow guard.
Goodman was trying to argue that he leaned into it, but I think he stood his ground pretty well. Just had a slider back up on him again right there.
Rose out in front.
And that seems to be the one issue for Goodman so far in this inning, is getting that secondary off-speed pitch, his breaking ball to not back up on him and to keep that over the outside part of the plate, because a few hit by pitches and walks on those are hurting him right now.
A 5 spot from the Elks in the third, followed and answered by a 4 spot from the Berries in the fourth. This is the 9th batter of the inning from Marion and Nolan Rowe. They fit all the way around as Goodman is into the 30 pitch count. Oh, 1 for 2 with the double. Almost gets hit himself.
There's that same pitch. Really needs to get around that ball.
Would imagine the leash is not much longer for Goodman.
It is a little interesting to see the Elks go back-to-back slow velo like this. You can't help but wonder how effective a little bit of 85 or 90 would be after seeing that first pitcher with that changeup first approach.
2-2. Still getting some of these Berries hitters out in front on the off speed, but they've been able to battle with 2 strikes, and that's been the thing for Goodman, the inability to put the Berries away.
Does have a little more cushion here at least. No runner on third.
2-2 is fouled back to the bricks, and Karam's out near the mound. Two away. Top 4, 6-6 the score. And it feels like this story just now being written, a whole lot of game to go. Still fighting. And here again, Will, they get to 2 strikes, and they've been battling Goodman, making him work.
Yeah, he doesn't quite have that strikeout pitch yet, it appears. You know, you're not going to really get it done with the fastball velocity being in the low 70s. He really needs that slider to start working for him.
Oh, the Washington Husky takes outside.
That was a much better job. He had the right idea, started that on the outside part of the plate, just hooked a lot too far out of the zone, but that's the right idea on that slider.
4 free passes this inning. 3 hit by pitches and a walk have put Goodman behind. And with full count and 2 outs, both Hooper and Major will be running. Oh, pops it up. Foul territory near the clubhouse, and it goes on top of the roof.
These umpires just churning through baseballs right now. So many foul balls this inning.
It becomes a bit of a helpless feeling as a pitcher when you're throwing a guy the kitchen sink and he just continues to battle along.
Yeah, and when you're a pitcher like Goodman, you just really got to pitch to contact. You got to accept that, you know, you're not going to strike a lot of guys out. You just want to induce weak contact, and he's done a good job of that, just falling behind in counts a little too much.
Rowe, foul down the third baseline, just barely. Turned on a 71-mile-per-hour fastball on the inner third. Rowe coming off a year at the University of Washington. Just appeared in 1 game with the Huskies. 633 OPS so far this summer. Payoff home from Goodman. Sky to left. Schmokel, his first action in left field. How about it from the relief pitcher? Showing he was a two-way guy.
He made a somewhat routine fly ball look a little sketchy, but caught that on the run, drifting back towards the warning track, and Goodman doing a good job of inducing relatively weak contact. But the Marion Berries strike back and tie this game up in the top of the 4th with a 4 spot.
We got a good one when we come back on Bend Elks YouTube. Take a look around the West Coast League on this Sunday, August the 2nd. We are ticking down the days of the regular season. The Ridgefield Raptors in a big one, up 11-6 over Springfield. That Drifter team vying for a playoff spot. The Knights are knocking on the door, potentially winning the second half. 7-1 the lead over Yakima, bottom four. We're tied here, of course. Pickles and Sweets just underway. Apple Sox beat the North Paws 5-1. Nanaimo beat the Lefties 8-0. Kelowna over Edmonton 10-8. And the Bills beat the Harbor Cats 5-0. Aiden O'Neill, Will Taylor up here in the broadcast booth. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. And Will and I couldn't have asked for more action. We've got 12 combined runs in just 3.5 innings.
Not a lot of errors either. One error on that pop-up, but a lot of knocks so far from both teams there. Sorry, my mic was down. And a big hack for strike one.
Gurney always gets his A swing off. Fouls that away.
That is a hack. I would love to see him square one of those up.
Well, last night he did. He went deep to left field, his first homer of the year. And Gurney, all that strength. Second year with the Elks. Just wrapped up a year at LMU. Take slow. Gurney, Pupo, then Beck in the top of this Elks order. First two games of the series, they scored 7 runs apiece. So the Bats have gotten things going.
I will say the Elks definitely have the upper hand so far in terms of quality of contact this game. They're seeing Brenneman really, really well. A lot of hard hit balls, whereas the Berries so far benefiting from free passes, one error, and a lot of seeing eye knocks.
Gurney takes low, ball 4.
And Brenneman with a lot of leash so far. He's given up 8 runs, 6 knocks, couple free passes. His pitch count climbing, 62 pitches already with 3 complete innings. Gotta wonder how much of a leash they're gonna give him here.
So Garrett Schmokel is gonna get an at-bat after he came in for Eli Pupo defensively. Former two-way guy from Portland, Oregon. He told me pregame that his two-way dreams died when he went to Everett Community College. Game got fast.
I will say, sometimes a little multi-month rest as a hitter can be all you need. Look at that. He has a 1,000 OPS.
He does, and Gurney's picked off. Still got to get him in the rundown, though, chasing him all the way back to first. And the tag applied by Arujo Wayao, who pushed Gurney to the turf.
Gurney either wasn't looking or he was very dead set on a straight steal right there. Yep, looks like he was trying to jump the one look right there and just guessed incorrectly. Very aggressive base running with no outs.
Mokel takes a strike on the outside corner. Look back in my book, but it was the 17-1 loss to the Portland Pickles on July the 29th when these relief pitchers were able to get in the game. The Elksville sent 4 pitchers to the plate in the bottom of the 9th. Garrett Schmokel was one of them, and he drew a walk. So that's why the OPS is 1,000.
Not bad, not bad. As time on the field, it looks like, ball from the bullpen snuck down on the field right there. It'll be a no pitch. And I think what people will forget with these pitchers hitting is a lot of these guys are 2 years out from potentially having very good high school seasons as hitters. So it's not like these guys completely don't know what they're doing.
Well, Garrett told me, he said, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I was first team All-State as a hitter.
Jackson Elder, former Bend Elk.
Yep.
He was a stud at hitting in high school. So a lot of the times, these guys are great hitters. They just, they're a little bit better as pitching, and they want to utilize all their resources in one direction. And that's an aggressive hack right there. Love to see it. Garrett Schmokel looking to do some damage with a full count.
He looks comfortable.
Sure does.
Payoff from Brenneman, and Schmokel's late.
Definitely looked less comfortable on that swing. Didn't quite like the outside paint. As the Lincoln High School native goes down on strikes. Hey, at least he was hacking. He looked like he knew what he was doing.
You never can fault a guy for swinging.
Now Cameron Beck looking to have himself quad a night, already 2 for 2 with a couple well-hit balls.
He's been finding barrels at a high rate since the beginning of this week.
There's another.
And he lines that one into shallow right field. Falling fast, but Matthew Major makes the catch.
I don't think the Marion Bears realize it, but that is 3 outs. Another hard hit ball for the Elks, but a efficient inning after the leadoff walk for Brenneman, and he'll escape quickly in the bottom of the 4th here.
Game stays tied at 6. And a new pitcher coming into the game. It's the southpaw, Josh Mejia, when we come back. Josh Mejia, the new pitcher in the ball game. Lefty out of Oregon Tech. Second year in the West Coast League, pitched for the Wenatchee Apple Sox at one point in time, who now lead the West Coast League North, and making his way to Bend with assistant coach Johnny Kemp. Last inning for the Berries was a good one. They sent all 9 batters to the plate, and they'll start off this inning with Cole Hansen. And he is heater misses away.
Yeah, and that's a much different look. 85 from the left side, a very stark contrast from the low 70s we were seeing earlier. This is going to look really fast for the Berries hitters.
As you mentioned, if the Elks were to do it again, it may have been wise to sandwich Mejia with Wes and Goodman to create a different look.
Yeah, in theory, but the coaches might have seen something in their swings the last couple games where they really think they weren't doing well with the off-speed stuff. But, yeah, this is going to be a very different look. Going to be interesting to see how the Berries respond.
Mejia misses down and away on the fastball. Josh last worked on July the 26th against Ridgefield. 1 hit, 3 runs allowed. It's been bumpy, but when he's riding in the strike zone, his stuff is quite good.
Yeah, the command a little iffy early on with the fastball so far. 3-1 on his first batter.
That was the one thing that held Josh Mejia back at Oregon Tech, was his inability to find the zone on a consistent basis. 19 walks to 19 strikeouts in 2026. And he walks Cole Hansen to lead off this inning.
Yeah, 19 walks in 10 innings this spring isn't exactly what you want to see as a pitcher, but only uphill to go from there. Let's see if Mejia can settle in.
Looks like this is Noah Scherer. tonight's K-Man. And with this crowd on hand, they'll be cheering for draft domestic beers being half off. The line was already long, Will. It would only grow.
And I will say, already pretty reasonably priced beer here at Vince Genna Stadium. So
Oh, of course. They got it going on.
that line's going to stay full regardless, I promise.
Here picked up an RBI in his first at-bat in the second inning. Rounded out in the fourth, and take a look at that line.
Genny the Elk, part of the crowd.
The best mascot in the West Coast League.
Easily.
Mejia just struggling with finding it at the moment.
You got to think they'll have a pretty short leash with Mejia's track record. No one knows it more than Mejia, though. I assure you, he's trying to find the zone.
Ground ball would do wonders. As Scher was taking all the way and looks at 84. Mejia, formerly of Lower Columbia Community College, who also used to be the home of the Cowlitz Black Bears that have since disbanded from the West Coast League. Tapping it, foul is Scher.
Just like that, two-strike count. Very promising for Mejia coming out of Lower Columbia. That is a JUCO juggernaut up here in the Pacific Northwest. They have been atop the NWAC for a long time.
And now you get the crowd back into it. This packed house cheering proudly. Two from Mejia. Got him swinging. There it is.
And the beer batter goes down, and the Elk faithful love it, as you can see them jumping down into an already fairly long line. If they know ball, they'll head over to the beer garden down the right field line. Also good concessions right behind home plate, right under our press box here.
Not a bad seat in the house. Stealing on the pitch is Hansen, and he'll get there.
Not a lot Pfeiffer could do there. Spiked curveball. Righty was right up on the plate. Not a lot of room to get rid of that.
Got a big jump, too. Going on first move. And as soon as that hit the turf on the pitch, no chance from Pfeiffer, as you mentioned. Gives Danny Weidman a chance to give the Berries the lead. Time is now called.
Presumably they're going to talk over their signs with the runner on second right here so they don't get their signs relayed.
That wind just continues to rip, and it's beginning to blow even more in than outward. Not an easy time of the night to hit at all. But it's also resulted in those bloop singles falling in for both teams. Wyman was hit by a slow pitch from Nate Goodman his last time. And pops that one up to shallow center field, but this isn't easy. Cooper going out, Schmokel coming in. 2 outs.
Schmokel not making it look easy, but once again, getting her done. Camped under that ball right there with the tough wind. I will say, I would rather hit with the wind than hit with the sun right in my eyes. That becomes nearly impossible. The sun's a little high still. I would presume normally it hits around the 5th or 6th inning. Tonight, it might not happen until the 8th or 9th, if anything, depending on how this game goes. But
which creates another storyline, because if that sun's in your eyes, plus the wind in the biggest spot of the game,
and if
things could get weird.
If the game is still tied when that sun gets low, we might be heading extra innings. I'll just put it that way. That becomes nearly impossible. When the hitter's eye becomes a star, it's not the easiest hitting situation.
Coaches would pull out all the stops to create some small ball and manufacture a run here and there. He has changeup, a gift from Taylor Schneider off the plate.
Definitely the widest we've seen the strike zone go tonight. Schneider's had a pretty professional zone thus far. Pfeiffer, a great receiver behind the plate, though.
Defense straight up across the board. Looked to frame that back in the zone, but it missed away. That was around the same pitch that was just called a strike, so I'm sure Mejia wondering where.
And you can see the batter was thinking about it, too. He's got that in the back of his head. His umpire thinks that's a strike, and he almost offered us that, almost had a check swing.
Alkai Arujo-Wayao, an RBI single in the fourth. Kick-started that big fourth inning. And he'll ground that foul.
Swung out of his shoes right there, but that curveball broke right under his hands. Great pitch by Mejia. Seeming to settle in a little bit here, one pitch away from putting up a scoreless inning. That would tremendously help out the stats.
Pushing the game along. 2-2 with 2 outs. Popped up. Shallow right field. It's going to fall in fair for a base hit. Rounding third and scoring is Cole Hansen. An RBI double from Alkai Arujo-Wayao lifts the Berries on top.
That's just a perfectly placed ball and a really good piece of hitting by the University of Hawaii commit right there. That ball just stayed fair by about 4 inches right there. That ball was below the zone. Really good pitch. Not a lot you can do. Good execution from Mejia right there. Just good piece of hitting.
That's a frustrating one because it fell where nobody could get to. Murphy gave it his best effort. So did Whitcomb over his shoulder at first. Tyler Dunnan takes a changeup outside.
Just missed. Mejia wanted that one for a strike. He is commanding the zone somewhat decently. Don't want to jinx him, but his off speed is working well for him at the moment. The fastball command is not there, but the curveball and changeup are looking good.
Just missing off the outer edges, Josh. That time goes in. 2-0.
Great work keeping that ball in front by Isaac Pfeiffer.
19 pitches thrown for Mejia. And then ones across the board. 1 K, 1 walk, 1 hit, 1 run.
And with that small sample size, his ERA has already come down a full 2 runs. So this would be huge if he can get out of this.
2-0, 2 outs. 7-6 Berries. And on second is Arujo-Wayao after his extra base hit. Now 3-0 is Dunnan takes. Tyler Dunnan coming from UCLA here after they were the best team in the country going into the tournament. Ultimately losing in their own regional. Did not appear for UCLA in 2026. But he'll take a 4-pitch walk.
And not
keep the inning
promising,
alive.
not promising to see that 3-0 fastball missed by about 4 feet there. And the Elks bullpen is quiet, so they're sending a guy down there. And it looks like Coach West is going to go talk to him to give the pitchers a chance to get loose.
Looks like that's Jack Harper, Wes's younger brother, who's on this staff, walking down to the bullpen. Possibility for Drac to throw tonight. He last threw on Thursday, so fresh. Get the bands going. Take a look at the West Coast League stand-ins entering this Sunday afternoon. Berries and Elks at the bottom of the South, so this is a battle in itself to stay out of the gutter. Still a battle for the 4 seed. It looks like those top 3 teams are going to be a lock for the playoffs. And then that one final spot, Pickles or Drifters more than likely, will end up making it to the postseason. Still in the game is Hooper. Takes high. Drifters have yet to make the playoffs in their franchise's history. Although a short history since 2022, but a golden opportunity this year. 1-0's popped foul and out of play. of course, tough in summer baseball to play this long of a season after your college campaign that wore a lot of the players out. But that idea and that chance to still make the playoffs and keep playing competitively, that adds a lot of incentive.
Especially if you didn't get a lot of at-bats in your spring season. So this is fun baseball for these guys.
Mejia gets Hooper swinging on the changeup. 1-2.
And that's what you got to do if you do not have your fastball command like Mejia doesn't seem to have right now. You gotta fall back in your off speed, and as a hitter, you got to see that, and it doesn't seem that Hooper recognizes that at the moment after he chases that off speed pitch.
Choking up from the right side, and does what he did all of his last at bat, just get a piece on it.
Yeah, this guy's a tough out.
The beauty of a league like this is come in all shapes and sizes, these players. And the attributes vary from dude to dude. Hooper just gritty, not going down without a fight. One, two, takes low, and it goes through the 5-hole to Pfeiffer, allowing for both Arujo Waiao and Dunning to move up. That's a critical 90 feet for both guys.
Looks
One
like
more
the
look at
slider
it.
there.
Yeah, right through the wickets. Here comes a big pitch. Looking to escape the jam. Ground ball, gloved by Mejia. And he'll flip on to first to end the inning.
What a play by Mejia. I think both the shortstop and second baseman would have been there. The ball was not hard hit, but he was not looking at that ball and somehow gloved it. That was a pretty remarkable play.
Almost falling down as Hooper chopped it back.
Oh, my gosh. He was completely blind on that.
Stayed on his feet.
And with 2 runners in scoring position, that is absolutely huge to get out of that. The Berries do take a 7-6 lead in the top of the 5th.
Home half of the 5th inning. The Berries now on top after they claw one back on an RBI double from Alkai Arujo Waiao. The new pitcher in is Zach Hankins, the lefty, and he misses down and away. Murphy, Pfeiffer, Whitcomb, 4, 5, and 6 in the Elks lineup as Hankins misses up and in. Zach threw on Friday night of this series, went 1 inning and struck out all 3 Elks. Funky look from the left side and pours in an 83-mile-per-hour fastball.
No overpowering stuff yet few fastballs, 83, 84 miles an hour.
Hankins is committed to Oregon. As Murphy flares one into shallow left. Moving over
Nice
is the
play.
left fielder in Share and makes the squeeze.
Really nice play going to get that sinking line drive. Hankins from Otis, Oregon. I've lived in Oregon my entire life, and I can't tell you where that is. I'm assuming that's got to be rural Oregon coast.
It says Oregon Coast on the profile, so it's got to be somewhere over there.
Aha.
Good pull.
Thank you.
Isaac Pfeiffer with one out. Takes a strike. All right, we're figuring this out. Otis.
3A All-State Pitcher of the Year in 2025, so a small school guy, but he absolutely tore up 3A high school baseball. Yeah, Otis is way out there by Lincoln City. Wow.
Pfeiffer takes outside.
Taft County, Oregon, yep.
So relatively close to Salem when you're considering major cities.
Good point. Not an easy
Just
drive,
east.
though. Not an easy drive.
No. Pfeiffer's got a couple of hits. All because of you, Will, when he coached him when he was 10.
That's right. Mountain Time Baseball. That is a pretty gnarly backdoor slider from Zach Hankins right there. That thing bit hard and caught the outside corner.
Hankins is top 5 all-time in Oregon career strikeouts.
Wow.
As Pfeiffer grounds that to the shortstop in Dunnan, who throws on to first.
Top 5 all-time in the Oregon high school career strikeouts and top 3 all-time in Oregon career triples.
So two-way.
Wow, that'll get you committed to play for the University of Oregon. Congrats to Zach Hankins. What a high school career. Yeah, he absolutely carried. That's about
Am I
it.
reading this correctly?
Oh my
All-time
goodness.
Oregon record holder for single-season ERA.
0.09 ERA in high school. Oh my goodness. So basically this kid gave up 1 run the entire
All year in probably 60 innings.
Yeah. Wow.
Unbelievable. He's legit, and he showed why against the Elks too, as that's called a strike. Still growing into his body with the fastball in the high 80s.
See how old he is? Date of birth, 2008. That's crazy. I was a freshman in high school. I was padding my own high school stats back then.
Kit Whitcomb swinging.
Up to 87 miles an hour on the fastball right there. Wow. Changed speeds pretty effectively. Got a little zip on that. Quick
Hankins.
inning for the Berries.
Hankins has got it working. The Elks got their work cut out for them as we roll on to the 6th. Top of the 6th inning. Elks trail by 1 to the Marion Berries, and Josh Mejia embarks on his 2nd inning of work. Missing up on the fastball. Major, Carlson, then Rowe. Major way out in front. This part of the order, Will, was the one that got it all cooking and why the Berries find themselves on top with 4 runs in the 4th inning.
Let's see if Mejia can get that fastball command. There's another curveball they swung over the top of. Gotta wonder if the Berries are going to pick up on the fact that Mejia is not locating his fastball at the moment. There's one. That looked good. Just missed inside.
And
barely.
Pfeiffer set up outside, too.
Yeah, exactly.
We actually have a new catcher in this game. That's not Isaac Pfeiffer. That is Hayden Smith. So Smith in the squat, putting down the signs. Was told pregame they were going to go half and half, so makes sense. Major from Troy, Ohio, and Tulane.
Oh, I met Matthew before the game. Great guy.
Yeah, he was fired up to see you, Will.
Yeah, he's transferring to Toledo.
3-1 misses up for ball 4. And also Isaac Pfeiffer now in right field, coming in for Jackson Murphy. So we got a whole lot of changes going around. Lead-off walk.
And the Bend bullpen still relatively quiet right now.
Just showcases where they're at this point in the summer. Although we're done at Genna after the game tonight, still 3 more on the road, starting tomorrow against the Springfield Drifters, a Drifters team that is vying for a postseason spot. So those 3 games, all 6:35 p.m. on Bend Elks YouTube, mean a ton. The Elks have a chance to play spoiler. Running on the pitch is Major. The throw down to second is into center, and Hartlob gets his leg ran into. Hope everybody's okay. That could have been ugly.
Hartlob just looking to make a play on the ball. That throw by Smith sailed a little bit right, and Matthew Major just sliding in hard in the second. No intent there whatsoever, just hard baseball.
Get another look at it. Ouch. Runner in scoring position for Carlson. His fastball misses high.
He had taken a little bit of velo off of that fastball trying to locate. It's getting close to the zone, but still not many fastballs in the strike zone so far.
Carlson's had a heck of a day at the plate with 2 runs batted in his own right. Big lead off a second from Major. And Mejia misses high.
And the Elks bullpen finally moving around as Mejia trying to get back in this count.
Credit to Tucker Brock, the Marion Berries head coach. He's made an emphasis, Berries just 2nd year as a program, to recruit young talent. They've been loaded up in that regard. And Carlson, a part of that bunch, committed to Washington State from Kennewick.
There's a fastball for a strike. Very encouraging for Mejia. And yeah, a lot of the time with those younger guys, you get hungrier players that are more excited to go out there day in and day out. Not a lot of egos. That can lead to a really good culture.
And also not coming off a grueling college season.
Absolutely.
Major steals 3rd. Payoff home is skied. To left field, down the line. Schmokel near it will reach up and make the catch.
Just got under that ball, had enough juice to hit it out of here, just popped it up 50-degree launch angle, is not going to get it done. And fortunate for the Elks, too, because Major had that base stolen with ease. Mejia definitely needs to mix up his looks to second because he was about halfway to 3rd when that pitch was released.
Regardless of what it's looked like too, Will, from Garrett Schmokel in left field, he's made every play. And hope that continues.
Pitchers are athletes, man.
At some point in time, they all played the field. Major's got a seismic lead off a second, but Mejia comes home. He is almost daring him to throw over.
This is where you got to do that little step over. We called it the noodle move, the inside turn.
Just to keep him honest. Rowe 1 for 3 with a double. Josh's breaking ball misses high. Schneider's been pretty sharp behind the plate. Aside from a couple on the outside corner. Finding himself in a hitter's count as Rowe. 8 hits on both sides in this 1-run Berry lead. Mejia working methodically, looking to find it. 3-0.
You got to think if he gives up this batter, it would potentially be his last.
Leash won't be too much longer. We saw Jack Harper walking down there. Looks like Jack, the guy warming up. They throw over this time, and Major's just back. Did get his hand underneath the tag. Almost caught Major napping, though.
Yeah, that was a good move. Good daylight call over there by Hartlob.
That also, as a pitcher, allows you to take firm control of the at-bat. His fastball sails high, and he walks Rowe.
See what the Elks coaches are going to do here. It appears they're going to give him one more.
And I'm sure a big factor, Will, is the lefty coming up in Cole Hansen. Because you get that left-on-left look.
One of the better hitters in the Marion Berries lineup here.
So Smith will go out and talk to Mejia. I'm happy, Will, to see the smoke clearing out. This weekend has been gorgeous for baseball. If the Oaks happened to be at home last week, they probably would have gotten a couple games canceled. It was fortunate timing.
Yeah, a couple really bad wildfires out here, but just absolutely gorgeous right now. We've been lucky with the wind. Some of those fires are still roaring. As it looks like Smith is trying to give his pitcher as much time as possible right here.
Welcome back inside the booth. Aiden O'Neill, Will Taylor. Happy to have Bat Bro Will with me. Always a pleasure, Will.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, good move giving the bullpen some time to get loose here. I would assume they might even yank him right here. No, I think they're going to give him this one more lefty.
Well, that's sometimes the strategy, to send the catcher out, have a meeting to get him a couple more pitches.
Exactly. That's just for the bullpen.
Mejia, though, will stay in to face Hansen. Major is truly dancing off a second. And Mejia's fastball right down the heart of the plate.
That's huge right there. That's always the most important pitch of the at-bat, is that 0-0 pitch. A 1-0 count and an 0-1 count have drastically different results for expected batting average. Good job, Mejia, getting ahead right there on the fastball.
You want to stay in striking distance, as the Elks have been the comeback kids so far this weekend. Ben's in the breaking ball for a strike.
And Mejia might earn himself a couple more batters even if he can keep this up. A quick 0-2 down on one of the better hitters in the Berries lineup.
And go to any pitch, way ahead. Back to the off speed that misses up.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Matthew Major take off right here.
He's getting a major lead off a second. Sniffing it out. Does not go. Mejia's fastball fouled away. Hansen has reached on all 3 plate appearances. Single in the second and then 2 free passes with a hit by pitch and a walk. Look at where that OPS sits.
1467. Good Lord. About as good as it gets.
There's two sides of a small sample size in summer ball. You have the extreme success or the opposite. But Hansen chases down and away and strikes out.
That is a massive, massive pitch for Josh Mejia right there. Gets the second out of the inning, keeps the runners on first and second, does his job with the lefty-lefty matchup, and he might have just earned himself another batter to try to get out of this inning.
Looks like that is exactly the case. No movement from the Elks dugout. And they're going to keep Mejia in to face Noah Scher. In control is Josh, taking his time in between each pitch. Scher pops up the first pitch he sees.
That's going to get
Foul
out of play.
territory and out of play.
Mejia seems to be settling in a little bit as Madison Bumgardner cannot corral that foul ball.
I'm happy to see Bumgarner make the trip to Bend, though.
Yep, looking good as ever with that beard. That's awesome. Love to see some Giants gear.
Oh, yeah.
About an 8-hour drive from Bend, Oregon.
Yeah, I was happy to hear that. All the Giants fans up here, as one myself.
Likewise.
Major still dancing. And Mejia's 0-1 misses up. It does do a lot if you're a runner like that, and you even get in the head of the pitcher a little bit because it results in a lapse in focus.
Yeah, I think he has Mejia's attention, and he knows it. Making all kinds of motions over there. Not a lot of reason to steal second or steal third here with 2 outs.
Scher fouls away the 1-1. A good comeback effort shown from Josh. After the leadoff walk to Matt Major, getting back in the zone and competing.
Yeah, for how many at-bats he's fallen behind in counts, he's actually got a pretty decent outing as long as he can close it out right here.
1-2 with 2 away in this 7-6 game. And Mejia hit him. And missed in at 76, and the bases are loaded.
He missed bad on that one. I almost wondered if he tried a different pitch. Let's see what it looks like he threw right there. That was a changeup that he just yanked about 2.5 feet inside, and here comes head coach Alan Cox, presumably for the pitching change.
Signals to the bullpen as Jack Harper will enter in a bases-loaded spot with 2 outs. Josh Mejia, all 3 of those runs will be on him, so he's hoping that Jack can pick him up when we come back on Bend Elks YouTube in a huge spot. Top of the 6th inning, Jack Harper in a difficult spot, facing the top of the order and Danny Weidman. And Harper's first pitch changeup is perfect.
So this is Wes's brother, yeah?
It is, his younger brother.
So I can probably tell you right now, this guy's going to have a nasty circle change. And it looks like that's what he flung in their first pitch.
Runs in the family. Harper missed in and hit him. An RBI hit by pitch to Danny Weidman brings in Matthew Major.
That's the second RBI hit by pitch for the Berries of the game. Not what you want to see as the Elks, but this game's far from over. 8-6 honestly could be a lot worse, and if you can minimize the damage right here and get this next batter, the Elks are seeing the ball well.
If you believe it, the Elks in this game alone have hit 6 berries.
Oh boy. That's not what you want to see in the 6th inning.
Harper's fastball gets the outer edge. And that was a storyline in the Portland Pickles series too. The Elks giving Portland free base runners on the hit by pitch. But along with those 6 hit by pitches, 6 walks. That's 12 free passes from the arms.
Wow.
Araujo Wayao takes full advantage on a line drive for a base hit into left. 1 run will score. Here comes the back one. It's a 2 RBI single, making it 10-6 berries and making this inning a crooked number.
And those are going to be Mejia's 2 runs there, unfortunately. Not particularly hard to hit, just out of the reach of Ty Hattenhauer at third base. Timely hitting for the Berries, and that's what those free passes are going to give you. They're going to give you the opportunity for weekly hit singles to cash in multiple RBIs, as we just saw right there.
Wasn't a poor location on the changeup,
No, not
but
at all.
Araujo Wayao kept his weight back. He has 4 runs batted in alone in this game.
Heck of a game.
Harper goes to the breaking ball, called a strike. Jack now committed to Kansas Wesleyan after a year at Cal State East Bay. Late call coming to Bend as the Elks have been looking for some pitching help at the end of this season. 1-1 off the glove of Smith. Look back at the Marion Berries so far this season. This has to be one of their best offensive performances. Bats that have been quiet from the jump after a really hot start to the season. Dunning takes high.
That's the fastest velo we've seen from Harper, 84 on the fastball, which just goes to show he's throwing about 80% off speed to start this outing.
Has to come in on the 2-1 to Dunning. And he'll take a breaking ball that's called a strike.
That ball definitely missed a little bit off the plate. Huge break for the Elks right there, and they're 1 pitch away from having a chance of trying to do some damage before that sun starts to set a little bit too low for the batter's comfort.
Dunning's reached twice. Not a bad 2-strike pitch, but does not offer at it. The goal here, Will, is to just stay in striking distance with 2 outs if you're the Elks. Don't want this game to get away from you. With full count and 2 away, Weidman and Araujo Wayao will be stealing. Harper misses in, ball 4.
And that getting dangerous. 2 outs and just 1 out away, but 8 unanswered runs for the Marion Berries. That brings our total to, I believe, 7 walks and 13 free passes in 5 2/3 innings.
And you tack on the 1 error, too. It came in a tough spot.
Not how you ride it up.
Did not go on the check swing. That's been a part of this Elk season, just shooting themselves in the foot. And it's hard to come back from in this game of baseball that thrives on playing it cleanly. Mary's not done yet, with them loaded on the 1-0. And tapping it foul is Hooper. Although the Berries haven't had a good year offensively, they still have had a couple of games with double-digit in the run column. And as a team, an 1,100 OPS today.
That's what them free passes will do, man. That pads the on-base percentage.
This goes to the backstop. Weidman's going to race in and score stand-in. The back runners move up 90 feet. It's 11-6.
And the Elks fans not too happy about this inning so far. The Berries have now scored in 5 straight innings. Not a lot of clean baseball on the defensive side from the Elks. Still plenty of time left, though, to try to make something happen. But, yeah, a lot of crooked numbers right there.
This is a 4 spot now in the 6th. Also.
Eight unanswered runs. 9 unanswered runs. Wow.
2-1 misses up, and Harper just unable to find the zone.
And, yeah, you got to imagine the Elks are just low. And a lot of the West Coast League teams right now really low on pitching this late in the summer, with a lot of these guys committing to their transfer portal schools and leaving the team understandably. But
Hooper checked his swing and went around.
Good off speed there from Harper.
And 11 runs on just 9 hits, Will. That goes back to that free pass.
And it's not like they're hitting homers and doubles either. They're hitting dinky little singles. And that, that pays the bills. But it's the free passes. That's why they're getting a lot of these big RBIs.
Harper does strike out Hooper, though, on the off speed.
And that's a great pitch. If he can command that pitch consistently, and to be fair, he came in with the bases loaded. That's a really tough situation. But he has good stuff. This game is far from over, folks. The Berries rally. They put up 9 unanswered. It is 11-6. But the Elks coming back in the bottom of the 6th, looking to do some damage when we return.
All right, bottom of the 6th inning, back here at Vince Genna Stadium. Aidan O'Neill alongside my partner, Will Taylor. We wanted to talk a little bit more about the pitcher on the mound at Zach Hankins, because these numbers are bonkers on both sides of the ball.
This kid has Carmelo Anthony high school statistics. He's top 5 in Oregon high school history for career strikeouts. He has a 0.5 career high school ERA. This kid is potentially the best 3A high school baseball player of all time.
And then at the plate, a 431 average, a 684 slugging percentage with 87 driven in.
And 67 stolen bases. And 18 picked off base runners on the mound.
This is an MLB Road to the Show character on rookie mode.
Buy your Bowman first cards now. This kid may be a sensation.
Hartlob, Hadenauer, and Cooper this inning, the bottom of the order. And even though he's not doing it with the bat for the Berries this series, we've already seen shades on the mound of brilliance.
This kid might be lefty Ohtani. Well, the Elks are going to have to pull off something that does not happen a lot to Zach Hankins, and put up 5 more runs here to get back in this thing.
Now, he is not used to giving up runs. That is obvious. He also picked off 18 on the mound.
That's what I'm saying.
So is the move wicked, too?
Yeah, kid's dynamic. Is he dynamic enough for this strong offensive line above the Bend Elks?
Arlov's got 2 runs batted in. Takes down an end. And then with the Berries, a 9.61 ERA in 7 games.
See, that's crazy. I didn't see that. He's got dang near, and 17 Ks, decent little sample size. That just goes to show you the gap in talent between West Coast League baseball and Oregon 3A high school baseball, perhaps. But that backdoor slider's good. He did give him a little bit off the plate below the zone right there, and the Bend fans are not particularly happy. As apparently they have a great eye because that ball did barely miss. But that backdoor slider is filthy. Got to tip my cap.
They've got the track man in the head, wired in. They knew it was down.
I guess. Wow.
Yeah, that's impressive from the home crowd because that was not egregious. It was about a ball low.
I'm 30-3, 3 career losses. That's surprising. 536 career strikeouts at Taft High School. Puts my men's league stats to shame.
And this was in 3 years.
Unreal.
That means freshman year JV.
So he's putting up 150 strikeouts a year. 160 strikeouts a year.
In the high school season. Untouchable.
Are these kids going up there without a bat or
Yeah.
what, bro? Like, how do you face that many batters? He's got to be
That's my
including.
question.
He's got to be including summer ball stats.
Yeah, that just doesn't add up, but it says at Taft, so regardless, pretty ridiculous. This Attenhauer takes up and away. Ty had a big 2 RBI single in the 3rd inning. That was the 5 runs scored in 1 frame from Bend. And at that time when Ty came through, the Elks were up 6-2, a completely different game.
See if you can get him back into it here. 3-1 count, and there is a free pass. A rare walk from Zach Hankins.
Lost him on the heater up and away.
Attenhauer can run very well. A great defensive safety in football as well for the Caldera Wolfpack. And another Bend native, Cole Cooper from Bend High, comes to the plate. Great two-way player.
0 for 2 so far tonight. Takes a fastball that misses down and away.
86 miles an hour. Pretty good zip. And Cole Cooper, hopefully the Elks coaching staff knows how talented of an arm Cooper is as well. If they might need him later in the game. Have you noticed if Cole has pitched for the Elks this year?
He is not.
So he might be just going into college purely as a hitter, but
Yeah, he was a new addition.
He is a fantastic pitcher. I might need a walkie-talkie old Alan Cox down there and let him know.
Cooper takes up 3-0, so this is where that 2 whip for Hankins coming in is showing. He's not able to find the zone. Cooper joined the team earlier this week. Getting his feet wet with some consistent reps with these Elks.
Man, that was a high strike call.
That does wonders for a young player, though, to get these college reps so early.
Absolutely. I got it and did quite poorly, I must add. And
Another walk.
Another free pass.
That is back-to-back walks to Ty Hattenhauer and Cole Cooper. And it brings up the top of the order in Win Gurney.
The high school phenom giving the Elks some leash.
Time now called on the Berry side. Looks like a mound visit with the lefty. They know about Win Gurney and what he did yesterday. The home run to left field that catapulted a rally late. A diving catch and right. Oaks had themselves 1 run in the 7th on Wynn's solo shot yesterday, and then 3 runs in the 8th. Building off of that, coming all the way back, and picking up their first series win since the beginning of July. They have a chance. Tonight will, if the Elks can mount some sort of comeback, to pick up their first series sweep since me and you were in a suit and tie at the beginning of this season.
Well, I think that about guarantees it.
That'd be quite full circle.
I think it's going to happen.
All starts with Gurn with a huge swing and a miss at the top of the zone. So he switched from that bat you were talking about. Now looks like traditional wood.
He must have broke it on the end capper. He must have broke it. Or he's just not liking it. I'm not sure what's going on here. But back to a regular wood bat.
Well, I will say Gurney all year has switched his bat, I feel like every at-bat.
Yeah, so that is a Victus. That is a full piece of wood that is just cut out of a tree, the old-fashioned way.
All natural.
Yep.
Crowd is backing Gurney, and he fouls away the two-strike pitch.
89 miles an hour.
Where was that?
I have seen his fastball span 7 miles an hour. This kid is unbelievably dynamic.
Just ramping it up out of nowhere. Gurney misses up. That's an 88.
That's 88. He's got more in the tank. That is tricky as a hitter. Ideally, they're not looking at the velo and they're just seeing it, and hopefully they're not thinking too much of it. But
Gurney hoping to fight with Garrett Schmokel on deck. Checked his swing and missed down and in.
That's a good pitch
They
right there.
appeal to Bryce Reeves.
Absolutely did not go.
Wow.
Well, that is an unbelievable opinion.
I don't know if Bryce Reeves saw that clearly because it looked like there was no way he went around.
The home plate umpire didn't even initially ask. Can we get another look at that by chance?
This might not have even been half a swing, Will. Gurney checked it. Oh, my goodness. Not even in the stratosphere of going around. Schmokel grounds the first pitch he sees to the third baseman in Carlson, who touches the base. That'll end the inning, and the cold strike three on the check swing from Bryce Reeves changed everything.
I will say he went more than I initially thought, but that is a tough break for the Elks with runners on first and second. Oh, I really don't think he went. That is the umpire's judgment call. There's no set, measurable, thing to measure that on. So that's his call. You got to trust him to make the right call. But tough break for the Elks. Big strikeout, big ground out on the next pitch. And the Berries stay on top 11-6 after 6 complete.
Tough break for the Elks in the bottom of the sixth inning. They were not able to score and have been shut out for the last 3 frames. Berries by 5. Matthew Major coming up against Jack Harper. Major started off the last inning in the 6th. The Berries hit all the way around. Harper's breaking ball is checked on and he didn't go. Looking back to the check swing that defined that rally, completely stifled it in its tracks. He just didn't go.
That's rough.
And what makes it tougher, I think, of a pill to swallow, Will, is it was Bryce Reeves behind the mound that said he went.
Oh.
That might have also made his view deceptive. Foul beyond home plate.
That's baseball. You see in minor league baseball, ooh, did we have a nice little play right there?
He's fired up.
Attaboy, there we go. It's a much-needed win for the Elks faithful. You see in minor league baseball, they're experimenting with a challengeable check swing call. And you've seen that, I think, at the AAA level, you were saying, Pierce.
That was a good catch.
Oh. But, yeah, if that was a challengeable play, I think that very much would have been that challenge would have been used and successful.
Adrian Skies one to right field. That's Isaac Pfeiffer, who's moved from catcher to corner outfield.
Catchers are athletes. Trevor May's letting that fall for a triple. I'm just going to say that.
Oh, that non-league game was one to remember.
Tearing a glute.
You guys all got hurt.
Yeah, that was rough. Clint Frazier did not get hurt.
He didn't.
He just struck out 4 times. We had a great time. Great post-game meal.
Yeah. And Trevor's velo was still there on the mound. He just wanted to do both. He wanted to go to right.
And I still haven't returned my pinstripe pants.
Just keep them.
It's been a great
wear them in the house.
It's been a great souvenir.
Turn on the Elks on Bend Elks YouTube when you're not here. Or just wear them to the game.
Oh, I wear them to bed. Definitely not getting them back.
Carlson fouled it away. Those are always so fun when you guys play in the non-league, and I'm sure it makes you feel good being a Bend native for a lot of your life and then coming back and being able to play in front of this crowd.
Yeah, we got to get Eric Sim out here next year.
Yeah. Carlson crushes one to left.
Uh-oh.
If it's fair, it's gone, but it's foul.
Believe that got out of here, yeah? I think that ended up on the future Tractor Supply Company building.
On our TrackMan, they didn't have a distance.
I would assume TrackMan's going to have a hard time reading any balls going into that sun right there. The TrackMan technology is pretty incredible. It doesn't just estimate the distance based on the launch angle and exit velo. It actually tracks the ball's flight throughout its entire duration. So it probably just got blinded by the sun right there, but that was a shot.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier in this game. The difference between starting at 6:35 and starting at 5 is when the sun becomes a factor.
Absolutely.
In a game like this, it's in the later innings. As Carlson charges this one into left, Schmokel's going back, and it's foul.
That one 103 miles an hour off of the bat. He's seeing the ball well right now. Fortunately, just a couple long strikes.
Difficult time of the night to see for anybody behind the home plate.
Still not horrible. It'll just get worse and worse from here, though. It's a fun quirk of Vince Genna Stadium. There's not a lot of ballparks that have the sun play as much of a factor. As a spectator, at least, I think it adds a fun little twist.
2-2 with one away and nobody on. Carlson just keeps battling.
Good piece of hitting to stay alive there on a really tough pitch.
Have you considered doing a video of trying to hit in that sun as a challenge?
Oh, my self-esteem would plummet. That's really hard. With the new lights, though, you can just see the ball so well. I only hit under the lights here. It's gorgeous. Sometimes I'll hit right after the sun sets so you can see the mountains.
And you get that gorgeous view on the mountain line of the sun setting in the distance. That's the price you pay, I guess. 30 minutes of sun in your eyes, but then the sunset's that much better.
Unbelievable. Hopefully, well, with how long this game is taking, I think we might get rewarded with a pretty gorgeous sunset.
Ground ball on the 3-2 to Hadenhauer at third, who knocks it down, and his throw to first is offline, resulting in an error.
Yeah, Hadenhauer, typically a very sure-handed infielder. A couple errors on the night. Fumbled that ball on the grounder and had to rush the throw and threw it wide. Good job by Whitcomb keeping that ball in play.
Ty had a lot of time at shortstop in high school in Caldera, so moving to third is not the easiest transition at all. It's a very different position.
Yeah, the ball gets on you a lot quicker. You don't have time to do the same footwork you would typically do at shortstop. And also, you don't get to play on a lot of turf in high school around here, so also a little bit different dynamic.
Double by Nolan Rowe in the second, and reached on a walk his last time. Swinging a hot bat towards the bottom of this order. Harper's improved as his outing has gone on. When he came in, it was inheriting runners for the lefty Josh Mejia, but that breaking ball has been missing in a good spot.
Absolutely, yeah. The command is pretty good for the most part. A couple hit batters, but I really like the off-speed first approach.
Pop up foul and out of play from Carlson.
Outside of the couple hard foul balls from the last batter, still not much hard contact from the Marion Berries. But, 13, 14 free passes is going to give them 11 runs to show for it, unfortunately. I don't know if they've put a ball in play over 100 miles an hour yet, let alone, I think, 96 miles an hour.
1-2 from Harper, misses low.
It's a good pitch and a good spit right there.
Runner over at first is Taryn Carlson. That a monster night. Harper back to that off speed, and it just misses outside. The play discipline, though, from the Marion Berries has been there.
Absolutely, and when you're not a super powerful team like the Marion Berries don't strike me to be, you got to compensate with really good plate discipline, and that is one thing they've really shined well tonight.
Carlson over at first with one stolen base on the year, and he was almost picked off. It looked like Carlson might not have gotten all the way back to first.
I really thought they had him at first right there. The Elks dugout kind of wondering what was going on. I don't know if Whitcomb knew he had the ball in his glove, so he didn't sell it particularly well.
Pop up. Foul territory, and Whitcomb watches it go on the roof. Let's watch it again because I'm not sure Carlson got all the way back there. Seeing that replay.
And he caught the ball while applying the tag.
Look at this again. Carlson gets his hand stopped.
He was out there. That's an unfortunate break for the Elks.
And the payoff home misses just outside. That's been called a strike tonight.
A series of unfortunate events for the Elks in the last 4 outs or so.
Adding on another walk. Bringing up the ever-dangerous Cole Hansen.
The Elks need a ground ball very bad right here.
Still down by 5. That gives you a chance in the final innings of work, but you got to keep it here.
And again, the later into the game we go, the tougher hitting is going to be for these batters. Let's take another look at this pickoff.
Shocked Brody didn't come up more adamant that he got him.
No hand on the bag, no hand on the bag, no hand on the bag.
Bro comes in.
Oh, man, his glove was on the body when he caught that ball. I just don't know if Brody knew the ball was in his glove because it made contact with the runner's arm before he caught it. So he wasn't able to really come off the bag and sell the pickoff like a first baseman typically would.
Harper laboring a tad, and pickoff or not, that really changes the inning. If you get that pickoff, then maybe Jack Harper doesn't walk Nolan Rowe, and everything's different. Nobody loose in the bullpen. This is Harper's inning, and the heater sails on him. Cole Hansen struck out in that long 6th inning. It has reached twice. Harper with an inside move will just toss it over to second. One of those games, Will, where if you're in the field for these long innings, it's tough to stay loose and keep everything lively.
Absolutely, especially after a 60-game season, that can be really tough.
Grounded softly to Hartlob at second, and he boots it.
And this game, defensively and on the mound, is going about as bad as you can imagine for the Elks so far. Miraculously, they are still within 5 runs and a ground ball away from getting out of this inning. Hope is not lost by any means, but that is a pretty easy out that you would hope to have. That is actually a somewhat common error you'll see when the runner cuts right in front of the ball and the fielder temporarily loses vision of the ball. You actually see that happen a lot.
The third error from the Elks this evening. Harper works to share and misses outside. You're in make or break territory with this game.
Yeah, this is, if the Elks want to win this ball game, at least on paper, this is a huge batter.
Another look at that error. Hartlob came in and
He's blinded by the runner.
missed it.
And now Harper gets down 2-0 with the bases loaded and 1 out. Not what you want to see. You really need to induce contact right here and hope for a rollover.
Asking a lot out of Jack Harper. Over 40 pitches and nowhere to put him to share. 3-0. Eight walks to 5 Ks, and then add on 6 hit by pitches and 3 errors.
Yeah, the Marion Berries doing a good job not swinging at bad pitches and taking the free bases while they can.
Squares to bunt, pulls back, and takes a strike.
And Harper needs to do everything he can right here to just force contact, throw him a hittable pitch, and hope that they get an opportunity to turn 2 or at least get 1 here. You do not want another free pass.
Ball 4.
And that's tough. That definitely takes some wind out of the sails for the Elks because this inning is still not over as we're going to get a mound visit.
That makes it 12-6. And no one in the bullpen is getting loose, so this will just be a chat from Wes Harper with his brother.
Looks like they do have a lefty getting up and throwing here. Going to give him some time to get loose. Sure, Wes is going to lean into him a little bit.
A lot of times that family tie will make the coaching even harsher.
Absolutely. As a big brother, though, in my mind here, I'm just trying to calm him down, reminding that you're 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning. At the same time, giving your lefty in the pen a chance to get loose here.
Yeah, that's Aiden Bray, so he'll be after Jack Harper, getting loose quickly. Aiden Bray, no eligibility left, Will. Just pitching for the love of the game.
What does that mean for a guy like me? No eligibility left, you say?
Mm-hmm. He just finished his final year. So
I'm just trying to think, how can I get in this lineup next year?
would you play every day if they asked you to?
I think my body would fall apart, honestly.
But would you travel and do it all?
And kind of thinking in the future, I would have a 4-month-old baby. I don't think my wife would be very happy if I was in Walla Walla. Yeah, that might not work out.
Big congrats on that, Will. That's going to be awesome.
Thank you. I didn't do much.
So maybe we'll get the baby in the booth next year.
Oh, he'd be electric. It is a boy, by the way. A 6'5" male.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Can manifest it.
That's what we needed right there. First pitch, well, not first pitch strike, but a 1-1 count for Jackson Harper on the fastball on the outside corner.
Yeah, the travel side of things would be tough if you fully embrace the Elks culture.
Yeah.
It would make for some good content, though.
Yeah, Mrs. Batbro would not be happy. It would
Then swings through.
be good content if I did well. I think I would need to sign like a 5-game contract. I think that's the
just
only.
a homestand.
Yeah, that's the only way it would work, honestly.
1-2. And Harper got Weidman swinging.
That's huge. That's huge. 6 runs is a lot, but 7 is a lot worse. So 1 out away from getting out of a very troublesome situation. However, the Berries have scored in their last 6 innings of work.
Two away for Alkai Arujo Waiao, who will take at the top of the zone for a strike.
He's been a terror this game.
Yeah, 4 runs batted in.
3 for 4 on the day, reached base 4 times.
Chance to add on to a major day, but chases down and away.
Well, Wes must have had some good words for his little bro because Jackson Harper seems to be settling in. Don't want to jinx it, but 0-2 count. 1 pitch away from getting out of this.
Looks in on the 0-2 and misses. Those mound visits, a lot of the time, will do the trick.
Yeah, it's kind of like silly how effective they can be, but a lot of the times the pitchers just need to get out of their own head, take a breath, and reset.
2-2 to Alkai.
This is also the part in the game where the sun in left field tends to be an issue for the catcher, especially with a right-handed batter. For part of the swing, they're in the shadow. For part of the swing, they're out of the shadow. At least when I was catching for Trevor May, this part of the game was really tough to see the ball.
Arujo Waiao keeps it going. A base hit into left field. 1 run will score. Schmokel's throw goes into Hattenhauer, and he doesn't let it rip it home, allowing for Hansen to come in. It's a 2 RBI single. It's runs batted in number 5 and 6 from Arujo Waiao, and it's 14-6 Berries.
Well, for how many free passes the Elks have given up today, this man has not needed those to have a day for himself. 4 for 5 with 6 RBIs. That's a stat line that'll get you promoted.
One of the better days, if not the, in the final game of the season in Genna that we've seen in 2026 here at home. Dunning grounds 1 to Hattenhauer, who will squeeze it and touch third to end the inning. Not after, though.
The Berries put up 3 more. It is now 14-6. And with 9 outs to work with, the Elks are going to need to pull off some magic here at their last home game at Vince Genna Stadium for the 2026 season. We will enter the 7th inning stretch as the Elks try to put together something special.
And before that, let's take one look around the West Coast League just to keep you guys updated with all the playoff scenarios going on. Corvallis is beating Yakima 14-2 in the bottom of the 8th inning. And I'm going to pull up the standings on my side just to keep you guys informed.
Let me hear ya! Yo, ball game. Oh, let's get some runs!
Thank you for that, Carson, leading this great crowd in the 7th inning stretch. But yes, Corvallis on top of Yakima by a score of 14-2. What's significant about that is in the second half standings, Walla Walla and Corvallis are tied at 15-8. So if Corvallis were to win today and Walla Walla were to lose, although this overall record shows the Knights as 1 game back of the Sweets, the Knights would be on top of the Sweets in the second half. Drifters still on the outside looking in with 2 games back in the second half. They lost 12-10 to the Ridgefield Raptors. The Pickles are beating the Sweets 1-0. So say the Pickles win that game, the Knights win. That means the Knights would be on top in the second half. Apple Sox beat the North Paws 5-1. Night Owls beat the Lefties 8-0. Falcons beat the Riverhawks 10-8. Bells beat the Harbor Hawks 5-0. But Ridgefield, they've improved, especially since the Elks saw them last, as Cam Beck takes high.
And one bright spot for the Elks this evening has been Cameron Beck. 3 really hard hit balls on the evening, including a 104 double to dead center.
Beck will take away. Damian Catano is the new pitcher, the lefty. Two-way guy in the lineup both yesterday and Friday. Yesterday at the plate reached 3 times and gets the strike call on the outer third to Beck. Beck, Murphy, and then Pfeiffer. Elks trail it by 8. 14 runs from Marion. Beck takes at the knees, 2-2. Always impressive, Will, no matter the level, when you see a guy doing two-way. Especially pitching tonight after he just had a couple of hits. Beck takes low.
I really do feel, too, like hitting puts stress on your throwing arm if you've really exerted yourself as a pitcher, too. I think it just makes recovery that much more difficult. So much of a pitcher's journey is their recovery between starts, so very impressive.
Beck grounds one on a high hop to Dunning at short. He'll throw on to first for the first out of this home half of the 7th.
And I'm sure if you're Cameron Beck's not super happy about that, but if I were to tell you your slowest hit ball of the day was 92 miles an hour, I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't mind that. And then Hayden Smith coming to bat for his first time this evening after coming in to catch for Isaac Pfeiffer.
Smith on the first pitch. More action for Dunning, who got it all the way to the tip of his glove, and then his throw to first is not caught. That's Cole Hansen over there that couldn't squeeze it. I think that goes down as an error on him.
Typically, let's see how much that bounced, but often they'll give that an E6. Let's see if that ball skipped in or not.
I don't know if it did.
Yeah, that's going to be an E3. That ball just went right into the sun, unfortunately. And Smith rewarded for the hard hit at least. 96 miles an hour off the bat as that one kicks off of the catcher, and Smith's going to get a free pass to second base.
That'll be a pass ball.
Yep, that's a PB right there. And that's that sun doing its thing. I'm telling you, it is very hard to see. Because half the time you're in the shadow behind the right-handed batter, and half the time that sun is just staring you down. And he's got the helmet visor with the sunshades on it. He's doing everything he can.
Pfeiffer dribbles one softly that took a funky bounce off the mound, but controlled by Arujo Wayao, and his throw to first makes it 2 outs. Moving up to third is Smith.
And I would imagine the Elks are going to need more than just a few hits to string a comeback together. They're going to need some help. They're going to need some errors. They're going to need some free bases, but the Marion Berries pounding the zone pretty effectively here.
Whitcomb will take. Damon Catano from St. Mary's College of California. Team that knocked off UCLA twice in their own regional this last year. And will paint the outer third at 86.
I'm pretty impressed with the lefty relievers they brought out of the pen. We obviously have high school phenom, did a pretty good job, and then Catano coming in, pumping upper 80s. Good command of the strike zone as well.
0-2 with 2 outs. Great stop from
Wyatt Hooper there.
Wyatt Hooper, yes. Whitcomb had a 2 RBI single that came back in the third. And will ground that right back to Catano, who gloves it. The flip on to first ends the 7th.
Few hard hit balls for the Elks, but good command of the strike zone and no free passes pays off for the Berries. There's a lot of hard hit balls right at the Marion defenders.
Go to that 8th inning, and Aiden Bray coming in the game out of the bullpen in this 14-6 Berries lead. Top of the 8th inning. Aiden Bray, the new pitcher, into the game for these Elks. Bend trails it by a score of 14-6.
And Aiden Bray looking to improve on his current 4.8 walks and hits per inning.
Been ballooned a bit. That's the tough thing about the small sample size. But yes, Bray just wrapped up his final year at St. Martin's University. Was at Corbin for a bit, the Eugene, Oregon native. And just pitching for the love of the game now with Bend. That's laced foul down the third baseline. No! He then calls it fair late. That was a whole foot foul.
And
I can't believe it.
Aiden Bray is in the face of the home plate umpire, asking for help, and the home plate umpire is not particularly happy. The Elks fans are letting him hear it. To be fair, the home plate umpire is staring into the teeth of that sun, but that appeared to be a foul ball. Let's take another look here.
The call was just too late is the biggest issue. Is he took way too long on this bang-bang play to make a decision. And yes, that's significantly foul.
That was, wow. Okay, for how bad of a visual we had on that with the sun glare, you could see that ball bounce 9 inches foul in front of the back.
Changeup misses away.
Aiden Bray was rightfully very upset.
Well, the thing about that play, too, Will, is if you're the home plate umpire and you're late on it, you have to go with foul because it prevents the runner from stretching it into two, who's also frustrated.
Especially when the batter is standing in the box still because he thinks it's an obvious foul ball. I will say, for how poorly the Elks have played on the defensive side of the ball, the calls have not gone their way. There have been a few rough ones, unfortunately.
Yeah, back to that check swing to win Gurney, and then that one. Those have been the two most prominent. Getting the green light is Matthew Major on the 3-0 and puts on a solid swing to center, but caught by Gurney. This was way foul, Will.
Wow. I mean, what can you say? It's all right. It's all right.
You got to pitch through it.
Yeah, you got to pitch through it. Let's go win a ball game, boys.
Ray looks into Taryn Carlson and misses on the changeup up and away.
Again, with that sun in left field, I cannot imagine that's an easy job. I presume he just straight up did not see that ball. I don't think it was a malicious call, but
no, not at all.
Yeah, that's a tough call to make, unfortunately.
Fastball misses up. Smith thought about backpicking, but couldn't get a proper grip on it.
Yeah, I know what it's like as a hitter and a catcher back there when that sun's glaring. It's not easy.
This has turned into quite the game just because of the free passes from a length perspective. We're already at 3 hours. That's what 20 combined runs will do. And a pitch close to the black doesn't get the call.
Bray visibly frustrated, very understandably.
Needing to come in, but misses inside, ball 4. Pretty big call when you look back on it, Will. And obviously we didn't know what Hooper would have done later in that at bat if it was called foul, but it resulted in a single, and then the Berries got the wheels turning.
Yeah, I'm sure Hooper doesn't mind. He hit it hard at least. He was as surprised as anyone, though.
Now Nolan Rowe takes high. Been a tough, full culmination of the Elk season coming together in this one in a year that's hurt them because of the walks and hits each inning. That's been the main backbreaker on Sunday night. Nolan Rowe himself has walked twice, also doubled. That's 6 straight balls from Bray, seeking to dial it in. Cooper on second and Carlson on first on the 2-0. Oh, the strike. Official attendance tonight, Will, 1,703.
704. I didn't show my ticket, so
Oh.
yeah, sorry. I just walked right in.
Well, the one you have to apologize for is the guy that made the guess and was one off. Probably didn't happen.
Pretty good crowd tonight.
There it is from Bray.
Somebody guessed 3 away from the right answer. And they are going to win a fully signed Bend Elks team baseball for that.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty remarkable. Somebody guessed 1706.
That's awesome. Ground ball sharply off the glove of Cooper and ricochets into shallow left. Shocked that Cooper stayed at third, but the bases are loaded.
Yeah, Cooper just kind of overran that ball and he slid for it. I think slid a little further than he thought and had to reach back. And I lean a little more towards error on that, but I can very much see how you would give that a hit. That ball's pretty hard hit off the bat. Yeah, that's a tough play. Slid for it, just kicked up off his glove. You got to give that a knock. I'm sure
Also with where he was playing.
Yeah, I'm sure Cooper would have liked that one back, but well hit ball. Now a tough situation here, bases loaded.
And Hansen has the chance to blow this game open. See some smoke in the distance amongst this sunset, but keeping the blue skies clear overhead on the field of play. Hansen over the head of Whitcomb into right for a hit. Scoring is Hooper. Behind him is Carlson, and it's 16-6.
And for as many free passes as there were, you got to give the Berries a little bit of credit. They're starting to hit the ball pretty well. And, yeah, there you can see that wildfire smoke on the horizon. That's got to be that fire up by Sisters, Oregon, a little more on your way up to Portland from Bend. But it's going to be a pretty gnarly-looking sunset. As you can see, that flag has finally calmed down. And while the wind takes away one factor, the sun, you can see that just beaming into the hitter's eyes becomes the new factor.
Yeah, we've been blessed with great weather this entire week after the wildfires and their smoke were plaguing Bend just a week ago.
Yeah, absolutely. It was rough.
We were on the road, and I was looking on the weather app, 180 air quality, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. Noah Scher with a big swing into left center. Gurney's chasing after it and makes the catch. I think he thinks that's out number 3. And now a run's going to come in to score because Wynn Gurney forgot how many outs there were.
The rare 2 RBI sac fly. The super sac fly. Apologies, just the runner on second scored right there, but it clearly thought there were 3 outs. It's not every day you see a runner score from second standing on a sac fly.
And that's great aggression from Nolan Rowe as coach sending him all the way because recognized that Gurney didn't know how many outs there were. They appealed to second.
Yeah, I thought he actually left early there, but that is the least of the Elks' problems. You do not want that situation happening. Well, that'll put the Berries up 17-6, and at this point, if you're the Elks, you can just hope for some strikes thrown and a couple pretty solo home runs for the fans, pending a miracle.
Bray to Weidman, and he fouls it down the right field line. Elks have had these games. Getaway days have been crushing, and it goes back to, Will, the lack of pitching at this point in the season.
Yeah, it's an understandable problem. I mean, unless you're still really fighting for a spot, a lot of the good pitching talent is going to be swooped up by college universities at this point. Elks running low on arms. The bats have been decent. 8 knocks, a lot of hard hit balls for outs. The Drifters just doing a pretty good job of pounding the zone.
He looks in on the 1-1. And that's lined right at Cooper, but he dropped it. Hit in second and staying there is Hansen. It was 95 off the bat, but
it was
one
hard.
that should have been caught.
Absolutely. It was hard hit. It wasn't super hard hit as the pitcher gets overthrown as the ball comes back in. The wheels have seem to have fallen off for the Elks at this point.
I think this will probably go down as an error.
I feel like you got to give one of those two balls an error.
And it gives Alkai Arujo-Wayao another RBI opportunity, Will. He already has 6.
You almost got to root for the guy at this point.
Look at that day at the dish. A double, 3 singles, 6 runs batted in, 4 for 5 at the plate.
A homer would be 9 ribbies.
And he'll take the big looping breaker at 68.
Perhaps that was the pitch to do it. A little bit of a hung breaker. Wasn't looking for it. Good job, Bray, getting ahead here. 0-2 count. 1 strike away from getting out and giving the Elks one of their last 6 outs to make some magic happen.
Just gritty from Aiden Bray. And he misses in on Arujo-Wayao. I think that might have gone in between his legs.
Heck of a block by Smith back there. Really athletic play. I'm letting that ball go clear to the backstop.
Did this go in between his legs?
Oh, that was insane. That went through his legs backwards.
What are the odds of that?
That was a remarkable block.
1-2. Misses off.
Crowd didn't like it, but that ball did miss off a little bit there.
Will, on June the 17th, one of the most electric games of the West Coast League season, the Marion Berries won 23-18 over Walla Walla. This is their most runs scored in a game since then, as Arujo-Wayao takes in.
I remember I was here last summer for the Pickles Elks game. That was, I want to say it was 24-18 or something like that. And we were looking up what was the highest scoring West Coast League game in history. And
Yes.
I think that was top 5. Record happened this year?
Ground ball from Arujo-Wayao, back up the middle, glove by Hartlob, has to hurry and gets him.
And that's a heck of a play by Hartlob right there. For all the easy outs the Elks had to make happen there, they pull off an amazing play up the middle to get out of another rough inning. Last 3 innings, the Marion Berries have put up 10 runs. 17 runs on 13 hits as the Elks have 6 outs remaining to try to come back from a 17-6 deficit.
Bottom of the 8th inning. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth. Aiden O'Neill, Will Taylor, happy to have you with us. The final home game for the season for the Elks, and hasn't gone the Elks' way, but still some stuff you can build off of.
We're having a great time, by the way, and you never know what could happen here as the first pitch sails in for a strike. Damian Catano showing great command so far.
Yeah, he is. This entire Barry staff, they turned it from Taylor Brenneman to the bullpen, and you were raving about their lefties, but they've been good.
They've been solid. Brenneman didn't have a great outing whatsoever, but the bullpen has come in and done a great job.
Catano knocked it down, and will flip to first to get Harlob. That is the second consecutive, going back to the last inning, 1-3 putout.
Nice play there. And this is the moment the Elks batters have been waiting for. That sun has finally set in left field, and the hitters can now see again as the lights will probably turn on pretty soon here at Genna.
Harlob chases outside. There's a luxury, too, if you're Damian Catano at this point in the game. When you're up 11, no excuse to walk anybody. You can just throw strikes.
Absolutely. Pitching freely. Almost feels like a scrimmage when you're out there at this point. But
There's those lights. Dark sky certified. Brand new.
they're so discreet. You can't even see them from the press box. But when you're on the field, it's legit. It's nice and bright. Like I said, merely a solo homer would do wonders for this crowd.
Oh, yeah. Still a decent amount sticking around, hoping for some late inning fireworks. Hattenhauer already has 2 runs batted in and takes up and away. Game last night for the Elks was electric, Will, and Ty Hattenhauer was embroiled in the center of it. In that Elks 3-run 8th inning, Ty came through with a timely RBI single through the left side and helped the Elks get the win.
Nice.
What's your favorite spot to sit here at Genna with all the different places to choose from?
I know it's not good with the sun. I'm a big beer garden guy. If you can get a good spot up on the railing, it's a great spot to watch a game.
Ty pops up the 3-2 to shallow center, and Arujo Ayao makes a difficult catch, lunging to his right. Did a little pop-up dance.
I also really like the left field line kind of party deck area.
Yeah.
That's a great spot as well. I don't love.
Yeah, you're right on top of the field.
Yeah, I don't love sitting in the bleachers as much. It can be a little bit chaotic, but good discreet spot out there.
Cooper's late on the fastball.
Good strong hack right there. Swung right through it.
So in another world, Will Taylor's right there.
Oh, yeah. I'm up on the railing with Grandma Sue watching the game.
Beautiful.
Eating a bag of peanuts.
Is that the preferred ballpark food?
That's a good pitch, man.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a sweeper. Ballpark food for me, I have a problem with eating too much food, so I really try to stick with peanuts and sunflower seeds just to keep it tame. And a nice Diet Pepsi is that.
Perfect pitch.
Outside corner fastball dots the black, and the Elks are down to their final 3 outs. A very clean inning from Damian Catano, and the Berries are rolling as we head to the top of the 9th. Elks down 17-6.
Top of the 9th inning. Elks trail 17-6. And the 6th pitcher for Bend, Riker Altizer, out of Oregon Tech. Altizer will face Dunning, then Hooper and Major. Dunning takes low.
And on the bright side, that is the best fastball velocity we have seen from a Bend Elk tonight at 88 miles per hour.
Yeah, sitting there in the high 8s.
It was a ball, but we'll ignore that for now.
Riker also like Josh Mejia, following Johnny Kemp to Bend, coming from Oregon Tech. School in Klamath Falls. And a Redmond, Oregon native. Out of the stretch, 2-0 to Dunning. Grounded softly to Cooper at short, who comes in and throws to first on one hop. A great pick by Brody Whitcomb.
Beautiful pick right there. Athletic play by Cooper, just kind of spiked it. And Brody doing his job over there, making a nice pick for the first out. Riker needed that for falling behind 2-0, but good job of inducing the weak contact off the end of the bat. Well located on the fastball.
This year from Riker, been similar to many of the Elks when it comes to not being able to find the strike zone at a high enough rate, and in turn getting behind in counts, resulting in walks. Cooper's shown a lot after he entered for Jake Dodge. Picked up a couple of hits. Would love to check on Jake Dodge post-game to see if our theory of him potentially getting hurt is correct. Just felt that the timing aligned with that being a possibility.
Yeah, it was a little early to get yanked.
One misses up.
Riker threw his hat off right there. Wyatt Hooper 1 for 3 on the evening. Had that somewhat questionable single down the line that looked foul from our angle, but we are in the press box. Falls behind 3-1. Nice breaking 12-6 curveball right there.
This nice breeze blowing in the press box. Beautiful night for baseball, aside from the Elks still getting bit by the free pass.
Now batting for Marion, right fielder, number 7, Matthew Major.
Bring up Matthew Major. You and Matthew caught a pregame, got a picture with him.
Absolutely, great guys. Apparently his brother's a big Bat Bros fan.
There we go.
Oftentimes, players that are themselves a big Bat Bros fan will use that as an excuse.
Right, because they don't want to be too.
Yeah, you don't want to come off eager,
Yeah.
No shame in being a YouTuber fan,
No, not at all. One of the coolest things I admire about you guys, Will, is I feel like you bridge the gap of generations. Like there's kids at these games that are 7 years old that love the Bat Bros just as much as the college guys. As the throw to second, pulled Hartlob off the bag. But the throw back to first got Major. So that's a weird one. So that goes down as a 1-4-3 fielder's choice.
What? No, that's just a straight 1-4-3 putout.
Oh, true. 1-4-3 put out. Correct.
Yeah.
Not a fielder's choice.
Let's see if he came off.
He did.
Yep. That's the right call.
1-4-3 put out. And just got Major at first.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, bridging the gap.
Yeah, we got kids, we got unks, we got the whole gambit. we do a lot of the older bats, and a lot of people just watch the channel because they would just they want to watch some baseball be played.
Yeah,
I
see
had a
some
guy
bombs.
in the Costco dairy section tell me, I fall asleep to your videos every day. I was so honored. Guy was like 60.
Wow.
It was the best.
Well, the gap is also bridged because who buys their kids' bats?
The
Dads.
parents.
So
Exactly.
dads have to watch your videos to stay informed.
I'm appreciative of the support. Can't believe
It's
it's my
fun.
job.
Does it even feel like a real job or no?
No, I feel unemployed, to be honest. One day I'll be back working at Costco, though.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
I like that.
I love a good.
Just for the love of the game.
I love a good retail job, people
Yeah.
person.
Oh, yeah. Extroverted. Stay involved with the community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a great
There
pitch.
it is, Riker.
That's a heck of a sweeper right there. All right, the Elks need 11 runs to keep this game going.
You never know.
We've seen crazier things, folks.
Here we go. Bottom 9 after this. All right, we'll set it best. 11 runs to tie, 12 to go home happy. Wouldn't that be the best way to end the 2026 season at home?
I want to see either that or just a moonshot solo jack from Gurney right here.
You know he's going to try for it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And a good spit on that first pitch outside.
He's got some of the most power on the team, just from a pure perspective. It's
And,
Gurney,
wow.
then Schmokel, and it looks like Hudson Chula might have a bat waiting in the hole.
Catano getting a bit of leeway on that bottom of the strike zone there for 1-1 count.
Gurney fouled away. I'm sure he's been thinking about this at bat too after he forgot how many outs there were in the outfield. You want to get
Absolutely.
back in there.
Still has yet to get a good pitch to hit this at bat.
Owen Smith up here. Gurney pops it up. Shallow right field. Major had to race in, and it goes by him. Gurney's going to try to stretch this into a triple.
Oh, boy.
Bang, bang play at third on one hop. Goes by him. But he'll stay there.
Down 11 runs. That is an aggressive send to third base right there. It would have been a bang-bang play, but the throw got away. And, you know, maybe it's just for the vibes. A triple did get the crowd going a little bit right there. So, hey, if you're going to make the impossible happen, that's a good way to do it. Oh, he would have been out by a mile.
Major hoping for some style points. Fastball misses away. Garrett Schmokel, who came in for Eli Pupo. That's our ball boy tonight, Jackson.
Oh!
And Schmokel drives one deep to left field. Do you believe it? It's gone!
Let the light show commence. And this crowd is coming unglued.
A pitcher that can hit too. Garrett does it.
And this is no longer a 10-run affair, folks. It is now 17-8. The Bend Elks are back within striking distance. 360 feet, just squeaked over the left field fence. And pitchers are athletes, folks.
All right, Hudson Chula, another pitcher, gets to hit as he takes high on a fastball. More on Chula, Will. I mean, I can't get over that Schmokel just went deep.
That was sick.
That is the biggest flex ever as a pitcher. You say, yeah, I haven't hit all year, but that swing,
that's
come
a good
on.
looking swing, bro.
Smooth.
Fooled me. I don't even think he got all of it either.
No, that is silky from the right side.
The dugout loved it. Oh, yeah. Dugout loved it. He's getting a lot of extra strike zone at the moment, unfortunately.
More on Hudson Chula for you, Will. From Bishop Gorman High School. Dominant pitcher.
Legendary program in Las Vegas.
And he's incredible. The other night he came in relief. He got 9 outs. All 9 were Ks. Fastball in the mid-90s. He's incredible. But before stuff got serious at Bishop Gorman, Chula was a really good hitter. So I'm excited to see how he looks. And the play discipline there, he didn't even get a pitch to hit.
We'll take those. And
you never know.
The Elks getting some late life out of their hitting pitchers.
Bringing Hayden Smith to the plate. He'll take up and away.
Before this inning, I said I wanted to see either a miraculous comeback or a home run. I got one of them. Can we get both?
Miraculous comeback, not out of the question.
I'm going home happy regardless. So we're betting with house money here, folks.
8 runs on 10 hits now. And it makes you kick yourself. The bullpen will do so too, that if there wasn't as many crooked numbers, we're looking at a great game in this ninth inning.
Yeah, you kind of feel like you're wasting a good offensive outing, unfortunately.
But
barring
Damian
a miracle,
Catano, this inning has not found the zone. Ball 4.
And while the tying run is still somewhere in the dugout, the Elks are cooking with first and second and nobody out. Probably not a bunt situation quite yet.
Chula walked. Then Smith did too. And these Elks have been able to go up there without a bat and just take. It looks like Tucker Brock, the Marion Berries manager, is coming out of the bullpen. And he's signaling to it.
What if?
How he signaled.
It's starting right.
Here we go.
We're getting the righty out of the pen. It's going to be number 32.
Luke Bailey.
Luke Bailey.
The right-hander in Bailey. In a difficult spot that he comes into. Not the easiest with a couple of runners on base.
And fortunately for the Elks, they haven't made a ton of offensive substitutions, so you still have some of your dogs in the lineup, such as Isaac Pfeiffer working on a good 2 for 4 night already. It's like Luke's got a lot of work for the Marion Berries this year. 4.7 ERA, 29 Ks already, and a 1.46 WHIP.
Yeah, and 24 2/3 will, 29 Ks to 14 walks. So he will fill it up.
Yeah, so looks like one of their better guys out of the pen, and credit to the Elks for forcing their hand and making the Marion Berries having to question their situation here as they bring in the UC Santa Barbara right-hander. Great Division I program.
Yeah, a program that just produced the number 4 overall pick in the MLB draft, Jackson Flora. So they got a lab there.
White Sox should have taken him first.
You think?
Yeah, bro.
He's got some different type of zip.
Yeah.
And the pronation on his pitches too.
Yeah, let's see. If the Elks were to pull this off,
so we're clean up, or let's see.
Who would need to come back around? So we have 3 outs to spare.
So Gurney tripled. Schmokel hit a 2-run home run. Chula walked, and so did Smith. So we're currently where Isaac Pfeiffer is.
So Pfeiffer, 3-run jack, 17-11. Whitcomb, 17-12. Hartlob, 17-13.
Hattenhauer 17-14. Cooper will say he walks. Gurney, 2-run jack, 17-16.
And then a Garrett
And
Schmokel
then
walk-off
a
home run.
Garrett Schmokel 2-homer game could tie this thing up.
So you're saying there's a chance.
I'm saying there's absolutely a chance. Dare I say it's possible. Dare I say it's probable.
Bailey to Pfeiffer misses down and away. Well, one thing the Berries will have to do is throw strikes. This game, if the Berries want to win it, you have to get outs.
The sun has set. The ball is visible again. Hitters count, nobody out.
Pfeiffer's had a couple of hits tonight, a double and a single. Broken bat softly
Foul.
to the first baseman, and Hansen, who fielded it foul, and that sawed off Fife's bat, so he'll get a new one.
One quirk of being a guy that doesn't use batting gloves, you got to be very finicky about the grip of your bat because they can get very slick very easily. So hopefully they handed one he can grip well, because pine tar just doesn't stick to a bare hand like it does to a leather or fake leather batting glove. Exactly.
1-2 and nobody out. And it hit him. That one probably didn't feel good at 88 as he peers back out to the mound to Luke Bailey.
That appeared to hit him right in the back of the hand. Let's see that again. That is not good.
Oh, the
Oh,
elbow.
right in the elbow. You know, chirp me all you want for being an elbow guard guy. I'm an elbow guard, pine tar, batting glove, thumb guard, shin guard. I wear it all. And if that hit me, I'd be going down to first pain free. I get the swagger points for not wearing all the extra gear, but that pain could have been avoided, Isaac. I know that hurts.
And he's getting checked out by the trainer. I mean, that's one where your whole arm is just vibrating.
Oh, yeah. Luckily, that got him in the meat. He'll be fine. But in other news,
Brody Whitcomb.
bases loaded, nobody out. And all the momentum on the side of the Bend Elks.
Bailey home. Whitcomb swings through it.
Good aggressive hack on the first pitch. Well located on the outside black there.
Brody already has 2 runs batted in that came in the 3rd inning, a 2-hit night. And a great chance for more. He'll line one into center for a base hit. Chula will score. Smith gets stopped at 3rd. And you just got to go station to station. 17-9.
Let's pull that lineup back up. What would need to happen? Presumably Hartlob hits a grand slam. It becomes 17-13. And then Hattenhauer, Cooper, Kearney, Schmokel, it's all working out.
The writing is already on the wall.
Schmokel could tie the game up.
Hartlob takes a strike. Bailey, though, humming it in there, high 80s.
89 miles an hour. It's a legitimate Division I arm. And the Elks are just playing with house money trying to extend this game.
From San Diego, California is Bailey. And his 0-1 gets the outside corner, right down the heart of the plate, though. Won the CIF San Diego Section Championship. An All-State, All-CIF pitcher. And the San Diego Pitcher of the Year in 2025. Hartlob fouls it away. Hamden also from Caldera had an RBI in the 3rd inning. A 3rd inning that felt like it was ages ago. A 3.5-hour game still continuing. Fouled away. Hartlob keeps fighting. Well, we were embroiled in a game like this last year, like you talked about. There's just something about sitting up here next to you that means we're going the distance.
I suppose. I mean, if the Elks pull off this comeback, we're going to have ourselves a 4-hour ball game and some change.
It all just starts with continuing the rally on a base hit. Fastball lined right at the third baseman who dropped it in Carlson. Everybody moves up a base, 17-10.
Crazier things have happened. You could cut the air with a knife.
This is quickly becoming ridiculous.
The Elks fans have came out of their slumber.
The tarps are about to come off. We're waving around the shirts, but that might be the ultimate rally. And no, Isaac Pfeiffer is going to exit, not moving his arm. It has started to hurt him as he's run the bases.
You hate to see that. Hopefully it's just precautionary. That didn't look like it got the point of his elbow, but you hate to see that. Looks like they're giving a pitcher a chance to run.
Yeah, it's Enrique
here.
Perez.
Let's go.
Enrique Perez is the new runner.
He seemed awfully excited to run out there.
He said, "Me, coach," and immediately grabbed the helmet.
Still no outs for the Elks in the bottom of the ninth, down 7.
And it's Ty Hattenhauer.
Oh, he's the guy.
Bailey's fastball misses low. 27 combined runs.
See, now that, dare I say, this is becoming a ball game, it makes those calls that have gone against the Elks that much more sour.
You wonder what if.
Whereas an hour ago, you were writing those off as, it's not much of a game anyways. But, we're talking about 1 or 2 or 3 run swing potentially on those calls, if not more, depending how you look at it. But Hattenhauer up 2-0 in the count.
We're getting to the point, Will, where that whole idea is not becoming as ridiculous as it was 10 minutes ago. Hattenhauer fouls it away.
Gutsy 2-0 slider right there.
Because you're a couple of hits away from bringing the tying run to the plate. And I think if you can see the tying run on deck, that will be the moment of truth of, hold on now.
All I'm saying, we might be involved in some history here, folks.
Hattenhauer.
That's going to get one.
Into center field.
At least.
It's starting to carry. Weidman catches it. Tagging and scoring is Enrique Perez. Whitcomb to third, 17-11.
Productive at bat from Ty Hattenhauer. 332 feet will absolutely get the job done.
And hey, for the first out, you'll take a run.
Absolutely. We're 6 runs away. The tying run is in the whole hole, I believe.
What do you call that?
The fourth is the deep hole. 5th is the super hole, I suppose.
Cooper is the 9th batter of this inning and cuts on and misses out a fastball. Cole Cooper, prime chance for a young player. As the Elks trail it by 6. Takes outside on a fastball. Garrett Schmokel is now in the hole after his home run at the beginning of this inning. Cooper swings and misses 1 and 2.
It's a nice slider right there. All right, got to buckle down here with 2 strikes and put a ball in play.
Well, you were talking about him at Bend High. Tough guy to play.
Yeah, great leadoff hitter.
And the Elks hoping to get some of that firepower in a huge spot. Haley's 1-2. Skied into left center, slicing away from Scher. It falls. Whitcomb scores. Up to third. It's an RBI double. 17-12.
I told you he's good, man. His stat sheet wasn't necessarily lighting up, but I watched that guy play all spring, and that is a tough out right there. And that is a competitive 2-out slider off the plate low and inside, and he just inside outs that thing in the gap somehow. And it is now a 17-12 ball game, and it looks like we might have another pitching change, perhaps just a mound visit here actually for the Marion Berries.
I believe this might just be a mound visit. 6 runs in this 9th inning.
Wow. All right, let's do some math. 1 out.
2 base hits and a big swing. That's really it.
The home run here would make it 17-15.
As we look back to how we got here. Win Gurney tripled on a ball that, in hindsight, Matthew Major probably shouldn't have laid out on.
Yeah.
It got Gurney all the way to third.
And that we probably shouldn't have sent him to third on, honestly.
Then Garrett Schmokel had the big swing. Of course, his first home run of the year, deep to left, that carried out there. Sent a long way. Chula walked, all that gear on for the pitcher. So did Smith, took outside. Then Isaac Pfeiffer was hit by a pitch on his elbow. Brody Whitcomb singled into center. Camden Hartlob reached on an error. Ty Hattenhauer flew out on a sac fly, and Cole Cooper doubled. As Win Gurney hops on the first pitch, grounds it to Dunning, who fields, throws on the run. 2 outs. Hartlob scores 17-13.
All right, so the tying run is now in the hole. We don't have to make up new phrases to describe where the tying run is currently on the field. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a 5-run ball game. This is 4-run ball game or 5-run ball game?
It's a 4-run ball game. It's 17-13.
Good Lord, this is possible.
You just need a few base hits and a big swing.
We have a 4-run ball game after a 7-run inning.
But the Elks are down to their final strike, 0-2.
And it's a pitcher, but he has proven to everyone that perhaps he is a two-way.
He just hit a home run to begin this 9th inning. But Luke Bailey ends the game on a fastball that caught the black.
That was a great pitch. The Elks did not like it, killed the rally. A few calls did not go their way. However, for the last night of 2026 here at Vince Genna Stadium, that was a heck of a rally, folks. 7 runs in the bottom of the 9th, and the Elks actually make this thing a ball game after an atrocious pitching and defensive outing, to put it bluntly. The Elks came up short, but that was a fun one to be a part of, Aiden.
I think perspective is huge, and in a game that could have easily been one where the Elks fold and they lay down.
Oh, yeah.
They put up 7 runs in the 9th.
I gave up, to be honest. I would have laid down there. But, I mean, shout out to the Elks. That shows great character. The coaching staff staying in the game, not subbing out a lot of their best guys. And they made that thing from a bloodbath into an actual legitimate good baseball game. And that was fun to be a part of. It was about 4 hours. That was a long ball game. But, honestly, I was pretty locked in. That was fun.
30 runs combined.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
30 runs.
All right, let's go back to that full 9th inning so we can soak it in one more time. Win Gurney, bloop into right field. Major laid out. He stretched it all the way into a triple with some good hustle and almost was thrown out at third. And Garrett Schmokel, that was the moment, the long home run to left.
Yeah, that set the table for the entire inning. The dugout couldn't believe it. I'm not surprised. His swing looked great.
Beautiful swing. Hudson Chula walked, his first at-bat of the season. Hayden Smith then worked a base on balls. Isaac Pfeiffer was hit by a pitch on his left elbow, and now I hope that Fife's all right.
Oh, yeah,
because he had to exit the game while running. Whitcomb singled into center. That brought in a run. Camden Hartlob reached on an error that brought in a run, one that the third baseman and Carlson just could not catch. Then Ty Hattenhauer skied one to left center fields. Ultimately was a sacrifice fly that brought in Enrique Perez, the pitcher who pinch ran at third for Pfeiffer. Cole Cooper with a great swing of the bat to left center field on the RBI double. And then Win Gurney after this grounded to Dunning, who threw to first. That brought in a run. Batter after, and Garrett Schmokel with the game on the line, looking to keep things alive, struck out looking on a perfect pitch from Bailey. And the Marion Berries ultimately win the season series 4-2. These two teams played on the bookends of this season. It was really different. The Berries got the Elks the first road trip of the year and ultimately swept them. And then the Elks take 2 out of 3 in this final homestand. But when just assessing this game in particular, Will, I think a great thing to remember with one series to go is you had some positives that you built off of.
Absolutely. I mean, if the Elks have even a somewhat average outing on the mound and defensively, they handedly win that game.
the bats were where they needed to be. Even defense in some points was where it needed to be, but I mean, I can't even say that. The bats were where they needed to be. Absolutely, but the defense was not there today. The pitching was absolutely not there today, and unfortunately, you waste a really good offensive outing. But I mean, the bats are hot going into your last series of the year, and maybe the Elks can play spoiler for the Springfield Drifters.
And those timely calls, Will, before we sign off, there were a couple of plays that didn't go the Elks' way, and in a 4-run game, you look back on those as, well, what if?
Absolutely. I mean, there was the check swing, which was obviously really rough. I think that was a plain one. The foul ball was very obvious, and then there were a few strike calls here and there. But, yeah, I mean, that's baseball. If you want to win a game, you can't give away 15 free passes. So if you give away 15 free passes, you can't really complain about the calls. So there was a lot of things I feel like we could control today that we did not control well, and that's why we lost, and that's why we have tomorrow to make it up.
Yeah.
So,
well, ultimately, you soak in the 7 runs in the 9th inning. You hope to build off of it going to Springfield, but Will, I appreciate it as always. A fun night tonight.
Thank you, brother.
And the final time this season, we'll be joining you at Vince Genna Stadium. Will, I couldn't imagine anyone else to share this final game with.
It
was
bro.
a great night.
Fires me up.
And this season was incredible. All that we did with the stream, I want to thank my great producer, Pierce Gordon, for the outstanding improvement we saw from year to year. He doesn't get the love on the camera, but doing all the hard work. And just this entire Bend Elks community coming together, even in a season that didn't go the Elks' way. It shows how special you all are, and we can't thank you enough for the support on the Bend Elks YouTube page. For Pierce Gordon, for Will Taylor, for one final time from Genna this season, I'm Aiden O'Neill signing off. Have a great night, and we'll see you in Springfield.
Bye.